Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tailosive EV live on YouTube. Sorry to keep you waiting. I know it's just a little late, but honestly, it could have been much, much worse. I was just been driving for the past 5 hours and I literally just got in the door as I got here as quick as I could, almost dead. The car's at like 10% because it was a busy day today. I was at work, but I didn't want to miss the event, of course. I can't miss our classic official Tesla reaction stream. There's just always a good time. There's always some unexpected uh, things announced, or the way it's delivered is unexpected. So glad to be here. Glad I made it. There was a decent chance, like I was looking at the ETA on the drive home and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I might actually miss the event. So I had to take some back roads and wait in all kinds of weird traffic, but it was a close call, but we made it. We're here. So I believe Tesla is okay, by the way, with us showing the actual event live stream. So unlike, if you're a fan of Talos of Tech, unlike the Talos of Tech reaction streams, we should, if Tesla hasn't changed their mind. I'm guessing they don't have enough employees to actually have someone going around tracking down who's restreaming the event, because uh, last last couple times they haven't stopped us. So we should be able to show the event. Hey, there's Model Y Mike. And also, huge shout out to Haru, who super chatted 1010 in super chat. Did he do that on purpose? At least that's what it turns out to in US dollars. It's not that for the actual chat, what everybody else sees. Interesting face cam. Well, we'll probably move some things around here. I've got to close a few windows. I literally just got in the door like seconds before going live. This was very quick, like, oh, go, 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 go. Lamar MK tuned into the chat as well, another content creator. Shout out to Lamar. Thanks for tuning in. He said, are you guys excited for this event? Yeah, I'm very excited, actually. It's important to taper expectations because most Tesla events have the tendency to kind of disappoint. They've been known to kind of overhype things, or at least make things sound really good for the event, but then not deliver later on. The Cybertruck is a good example. I mean, the design is still amazing. I saw probably 12 Cybertrucks on my 8 hours of driving today, and it catches the eye like nothing else on the road. They're still so beautiful, in my opinion. I know the design isn't for everybody, but I just think it's such a iconic, classic look. So I'm a fan of it personally. I know it's not for everybody, but let me close some things before I start sharing my screen. I haven't had any time in the past 5 hours to check Twitter. I'm sure there's people tweeting um, like about the event and what they're seeing. So I'm refreshing and checking it right now. Um, but I'm not seeing a bunch of posts yet. Maybe this needs to be refreshed. I don't know. Huh. Jackson Smith, thank you for 16 months of support. Appreciate all that. You guys are far, far too generous. Um, oh, people are posting. Okay, maybe it's time to start sharing the screen. Let me just make sure I don't have anything queued up that I shouldn't. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna be disappointed, but at least it'll be funny. Hopefully, that's true. Uh, Even if you don't agree with the whole Robotaxi thing, there will probably be some funny things that take place. I mean, the Cybertruck event was hilarious. Even if you hated the Cybertruck, it was very entertaining to watch. Um, and I think Tesla kind of knows that to a certain extent. Okay, I'm gonna make my Twitter window huge so that we can see everything. Let me zoom this up a little bit. Sorry, I'm just trying to make it nice and pretty for y'all. We can minimize that. We can close this. Are you guys excited? Surprisingly, no leaks. Only thing I've heard today is that it will have butterfly doors and 2 seats. Well, that's from Bloomberg, who is usually pretty reputable, but there's a chance they could be wrong. Okay, let's give this a shot. Nope, it's not capturing the right screen. That's frustrating. Okay, give me 1 second. Hey. Um, what do I do here? Studio mode. There we go. Switch to editing. I don't know what changed that it doesn't want to capture. There. It's all right. You'd think after doing this for so many years, I'd be better at capturing my reaction. I guess I'm not used to showing the screen. That's the weird thing. Usually it's just my face. Okay, for some reason, when I add it again, it works. So let's transition now. Boom. Okay, we can catch up with the leaks with me, but don't worry. I know y'all want to see my face. And there it is. Down here. Hello. Now you get the little overlay. Although it's so like washed out. Wonder what happened. Huh. So for the win. Let's have a Volvo moment. This accidentally running over executives and shareholders. That'd be hilarious if they were like, look, it's an autonomous vehicle. And then it just like runs over a bunch of people. I mean, no. Look at this. Arash is at the event and he's got flyers, destinations. There's a map. They've got pictures of the robot. Seems like they really want people thinking about the Tesla bot. Let me zoom in on this real quick. Are we bringing up that image? What does this say? Westworld, get some good old Texas barbecue and watch the future of autonomy unfold. Metropolis, come for the arcade game, stay for the party, and maybe take a swing at Cybertruck. Tesla Theater, grab a slice, pick a dessert, and enjoy the show on a giant movie screen. What? No, I'm at the event. I would want to watch it on a screen. Merch, grab all your gear here, apparel posters, open after the remarks conclude. General admission. Boarding group times. What? What? Why are there boarding group times? Group A, 8 p.m. Group B. Oh, that implies there's some rides coming. Holy crap, Haru gifted 10 Talos of EV memberships. That's very generous of you. Stock prediction after the announcement seems to always go down with quarterly financials. Also, statistically, I've been following Tesla for a while. The stock usually goes down after an event, after an unveiling, almost every single time, because the event pretty much never lives up to the hype because the hype is unobtainable. It's always way too high. People are expecting the Roadster and the Juniper refresh and the flying car and everything's gonna be announced all at this one event, and it's like, yeah, no. What is that? It? Am I looking at it? Or is that a teaser? It's Green Hornet. That's for a movie. It's on Universal Studios. Okay. I wasn't gonna be mad. Look at that. It kind of looks like a cyber sedan. That's kind of a cool looking car. But I was like, it looks old though. I don't think that's the Robotaxi. This is the Tesla Robotaxi event. Oh my God, look at that line. And I don't have to be there. Are they streaming it on YouTube? Hold up. Oh, they are this time. Oh, okay, cool. In the past, like I like how YouTube is recommending me watch my own live stream. In the past, they would only stream on Twitter, but the quality on YouTube is so much better. Um, I'm sorry it took so long to notice. I'm very distracted if you couldn't tell. Um, I'm gonna be disappointed, but at least it'll be funny. Yeah, thank you, Haru, for sharing everything. Is that a DeLorean? It wasn't, but it did look very DeLorean-esque. Well, I'll keep that tab available because I prefer watching on YouTube. I'm glad I won't have to watch it on Twitter. That is a different belt buckle than they've offered before. Yeah, that's a Total Recall thing. It's definitely inspiration, yes. Um, I'm mostly interested in the Model 2. Yeah, that's my main motivation. Hey, we're talking about Aptterra. By the way, Aptterra had a cool product assembly video they dropped today. So there's lots of EV news I'm missing. What is this? The advertising premium? Okay, I'm getting all the politics memes too. Ooh, where did he find glossy Cybertruck wheels? That's where. What is this? Stay 50 feet back for data collection. There's a Starlink on the roof. What the heck are they doing? Uh, I'm not interested in anything political. Uh, no food or drinks allowed in the vehicle. Ooh, if there's a sign. Apparently, there's going to be a drone show, or there was a drone show. It was tested earlier. Was this tested the night before? Oh, that looks like Tesla bot. That's cool. Drone shows are always fun, but probably much better in person. Less fun for the people watching online. Oh, geez. You get everything in the news. Let's go to following. Why won't this? $99. There we go. There's food cater. Oh, see, this is why I go to events for the free food. Cries and lack of roadster too. Yeah, I have my doubts about whether or not robotaxis will scale at the level that Tesla thinks they will, but I'm just excited at the concept of a small, affordable, efficient vehicle, and hopefully some people at Tesla are able to convince Elon. Um, oh, cool, Joe Techmeyer got to go. That's awesome. I love this little map layout thing. This is cool. It's like a video game, Westworld, New York, Metropolis. That's cute. They always put, I think, a lot more attention into those little details for the in-person people, but online, like the whole Cybertruck delivery event, we couldn't see or hear Elon the entire time. Um, Missed opportunity to have the Tesla bot during the catering tables. I'm sure they wanted it to, but I would not be shocked if they're just not that good at doing things yet. But they're gonna be. They're gonna be. Yeah, I would be so pumped at the idea of Tesla just launching a steer by wire, because that was actually my favorite Cybertruck feature. As a pickup truck, it's not amazing in my opinion. Like the dimensions are fairly standard, and you guys know how I feel about trucks. I think they're all too big, but I am biased. But like the bed is slightly longer than an F-150, but not as wide as an F-150. And then, it still seats five, which for a vehicle of that size is like, yeah, my Model 3 can sit five. And then there's no way to access the bed from the cabin. Honestly, if we're just talking about trucks that are available on the market today, the Silverado EV is a bit more impressive to me. It hits faster charging speed, at least right now. It's got a mid-gate. There's a variant of it that's under 80 grand that goes like 490 miles on a charge. But the tech behind the Cybertruck is really what sells it. But all of that tech stuff in the Cybertruck that I love, like the steer-by-wire and that main display, the camera placement and everything, the software, Tesla's software is still like the best in the biz. It's very hard to beat. Wow, it's quite a line. Um, Look at all these people. My goodness. A lot of people got their badges. We got ads. Everybody's checking in. Um, but to bring more of that cyber aesthetic, that's one thing I do really love about the Cybertruck. It looks so much cooler. It's so much prettier, in my opinion, than a Silverado EV. Um, but in my opinion, trucks shouldn't be about looking pretty, although I love the look of the Cybertruck. They should be about practicality and utility. But everything I like about it, you could put into a smaller, cheaper vehicle, like the 48-volt architecture, the steer-by-wire, the Ethernet connectivity, the higher voltage architecture, the structural battery pack, the 4680s, hopefully the armored glass as well. I actually have just today received a huge crack on my windshield, which really sucks. It's spreading by the minute and it looks really, really bad. And I'm like, boy, I wish I had some of that armored glass on my car. But if we could put all of that cyber tech into a smaller, cheaper vehicle that maybe is just two seats and two doors, butterfly doors though, and it's super aerodynamic and super efficient, so you can make use of a really small battery, and Tesla can utilize all of their vertical integration. That gets me really excited. So I'm going to be looking at this. Whoop. Haru's tagging me in some tweets. There's some vehicles under wraps. That one looks pretty big though. I mean, I don't know why this is here. Why is that? It's like that pink Miata. Is that the Robotaxi? I'd be surprised. It looks like the Barbie car. Tesla usually sell the news event, then a week or two later it's buy the dip. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's really investing at that point. That's just day trading. Sawyer says FSD transfers back starting today. Yeah, this is the like eighth time they've offered that, and then they've said, we're never doing this again. We're not letting you transfer FSD. I'm like, shut up. Yes, you are. Anyway. Um they've got visualizers on the screen. Wow, that looks like Total Recall. That's an S2000. Do you think Tesla will go down from an event again? Probably. I'm not a great short-term stock price predictor. It's just statistically over the years I've watched a lot of Tesla events. I watched the Model 3 event live, I watched the Model Y event live. the Cybertruck unveiling live. I watched Battery Day. I watched AI Day 2. I watched Autonomy Day. All of those Tesla events I watched live, and pretty much without failure, the stock always dropped the next day because everyone was like, "I didn't get what I wanted." But the long-term investors aren't buying and selling based on how the event went. So, like if you're a big time long-term believer in Tesla, you're just going to buy and hold. But if you're just trying to make a quick buck, you're going to be buying and selling all day. Scott says, I see the free FSD transfers back again. I wish they would just keep it permanent and stop playing game. I think they want to leave that door open because they're convinced that eventually FSD is going to be so high in demand that they'll be leaving free money on the table to let people to transfer it. But so far, I think anytime they let people transfer FSD and they keep saying, this is the last time we're going to offer it, and then they offer it, it's probably because there's not that many people buying it. And they would rather just have more sales because there's not that many people buying Teslas. Or there's a lot of people buying Teslas, but not as many as they're building. Do you directly own Tesla stock or indirectly? No, I do. I have individual Tesla stock shares through, not through an index fund, just directly. I do. Although I'm debating getting out of the Tesla. I'm debating getting out of individual stocks. Period, because of my work and because I've communicated with too many people that have insider knowledge. I haven't bought or sold based on insider knowledge. I bought all of my individual EV stocks before I had contacts and sources. So now that I do, I'm kind of worried and hesitant about buying and selling anything because I don't want to get in trouble. Um, so I'm thinking of, at some point just backing out of the individual stock game in general because most of the time it doesn't hardly outperform the S&P 500 anyway. I do think there are institutional investors who are looking forward to this event in particular. The potential upside of pulling off robotaxis at scale is massive. I agree, but I don't think this event is there's nothing this event can do that will prove that Tesla is close to doing that. Um, that's going to be based on regulatory approval, and it's going to be based on the performance of FSD, the miles between interventions. And right now, at least the crowdsourced data is saying Tesla's nowhere near close. I know Elon says like maybe one intervention a year, but that's not what the user data is saying. So we need to get into the hundreds of thousands or millions of miles between intervention. And right now we're in the like dozens of miles, depending on where you are. In certain regions, it works a lot better than others. But if the whole point of it is to scale extremely quickly, then you have to take into consideration how it performs in all regions, not just one or two. Um, let's see. I don't know if they'll pull it off or not, but they've been talking about it on CNBC all week. No, I think Tesla events usually disappoint people, but I'm very curious. My expectations are in check. I'm not expecting my mind to be blown and for Tesla to say like tomorrow we're activating the Robotaxi fleet. I think this is mostly going to be a lot of like preparation and like here's all the things we're doing to prepare for autonomous driving, to get people thinking about what autonomous driving is going to be about. And it also seems like they have a pretty high emphasis on the Optimus robot, so maybe they have some pretty cool live demos of the robot, but we know how Tesla's live demos go, right? Those can go poorly in the past, but looks like they've got some visualizers going. I've got the stream ready to go queued up here, but they haven't officially gone live yet. You will be able to hear and see it though. That's my plan. And then the Robotaxi started flying. Spill the beans on the inside info. Can't. Take a look at Costco stock. How ridiculously biblical they are at compounding up and to the right over time is insane. It's always expensive, yet constantly crushes expectations. I just, I don't know. I want to be an EV channel. I don't want to be an investment channel. I think too many people try to conflate the two. Like if you talk about Tesla, you have to talk about the Tesla stock. I'm like, that's not how we are over on the Apple side of things. Like on my tech channel, we talk about MacBooks and iPhones, but we don't talk about Apple stock. I don't own Apple stock, but I own Apple products. And I'm a product guy. I don't really want to be a financial guy. It's just my opinion. Uh, let the financial advisors do that. That's not really me. That doesn't really get me excited. Like, which stock should I buy to get rich? I just want to talk about the products. That's what's exciting to me. What I'm excited to see is what they deem event worthy. Yeah, that's a good point, Jackson. I just saw a major Model Y crash today on YouTube. The technology is not there yet. Maybe 5 or 10 more years. Were they on FSD? Um, Hello, Adam. Welcome to the stream. I mean, just for your own personal investments, Costco's outpaced S&P for years. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you should put your life savings into it because you never know what one individual stock can do. The markets are very reactionary, but again, do what you want. It's your money. You invest it how you want. I'm not a financial advisor, and just because I have a YouTube channel doesn't mean that I suddenly should give financial advice. Like, we'll do a whole. We need a whole separate channel to do financial stuff, and I don't have the time for that. This is the EV channel, so we're here to talk about EVs, not stocks. Um, oh, cool! You got a gaming laptop. Good for you, Mike. More money, more problems. Absolutely. Gotten a lot more money out of the years, and I'll tell you, it doesn't necessarily make you more happy. Other things in my life, spending time with family, friends, my wife, that's what makes me happy. More money I have? Nah, not really. Is there a good way to watch this on my Apple TV? I believe, I'm not sure if this is public on their channel. It's at least unlisted. Chat is disabled, which is interesting. But I believe they're live streaming it to YouTube. So if your Apple TV has YouTube, I think they're streaming it. Because yeah, there is no Twitter app on Apple TV, or there hasn't been an updated one, so I'm not sure if it'll work. Cursive Cybertruck windshield wiper. That's funny. Nice job, Gregor Truck. I like the work and attention to detail they put into the invites, though. That's cute. Looks like fun. I'd be all over that food table. Model 2 is still trending. That still blows my mind that the term Model 2 has made it this far because Elon said 4 years ago now, there is no Model 2. That's not what we're calling it. I think it's been made pretty clear from people's conversations with Elon and the biographies that he is not interested, he's not that passionate at least about making a cheaper Tesla. He's more interested in cheaper cost of transport. And he thinks what's far more interesting than a $25,000 car is a autonomous robotaxi that only costs a few cents a mile to drive around, to where the robotaxi is now infinitely cheaper than owning a car. And we're just going to use robotaxis everywhere we go. Now, I doubt that consumers would stop buying cars or stop wanting to owning cars just because there's robotaxis. Public transport is a thing in many cities. Not everybody, not great in America, of course, but I'm just saying people don't buy vehicles based on which one is the most cost effective. Otherwise, everybody would be buying 2005 Honda Civics. And yet the most popular vehicles in the country are Ford F-150, Ram 1500, Toyota RAV4. It's not the most efficient ones. It's the ones with the most practicality. People want utility, people want storage space, people use vehicles for much more than transportation, which is why I think robotaxis would be a great supplemental help. It would be a great addition to all the many different ways we can transport ourselves, whether that be public transport, whether that be personal owned vehicles. Robotaxis could be a great alternative so that you don't have to abide by a bus schedule, and maybe the vehicles can come straight to you at whenever you want, instead of trying to abide by, oh, I got to get down to the bus stop, and does the bus go to where I'm looking, all that kind of complexity of planning. um, no, I think it's a good idea that Tesla pursues it. It's good for safety. It's also just a great selling point for their vehicles. I mean, a ton of people are a huge fan of the autonomous driving features in Teslas. I've had my fair share of bad experiences with it, so my bad experiences have kind of ruined it for me to the point now where I don't really enjoy using it anymore. So I mostly just use cruise control. But that's just me. I'm not saying everybody's like me, but it's a huge, great selling point to be able to say like, hey, you should consider buying our car because it'll literally drive itself. And hopefully within a few years, you won't even have to pay attention when it's driving. But yeah, we should be starting the stream here in just a few minutes, but I'm not seeing it live on Twitter or YouTube yet. So we'll keep refreshing. Will the Roadster 2 be there, Robotaxi? I don't think it will. You guys can make your guesses. It's every single event since the Tesla Semi event, there's been people that have been like, what if the Roadster comes out? And I'm like, I just don't think they're thinking too much about it. But Hey, Chris McCammon's in the chat. I was driving for the past 5 hours. I'm sorry I didn't reply to your text, Chris. But yes, I did briefly catch the PI2 video. It was awesome. It was amazing. I love the transition between the virtual to the real world. And now I think I saw earlier Fambro's teasing us even more. And I'm just eating up that y'all are teasing me beyond belief with all of these update videos. Yeah, 3 hours ago he tweeted out the wheels. See the control arms going on. Um, the suspension stuff. So yeah, Aptterra is making some great progress. I got to go down there soon. You know when I'm coming, Chris, but the audience doesn't yet. But yeah, we're coming down there. We got to check this stuff out while we're waiting for Tesla. Whoop. Sorry, I know it's loud. Actually, let me not get copyright claimed. I'll just mute it, or at least keep it low. It's all coming together. All the production parts. These are not prototype parts anymore. So get hyped, get excited, because Aptterra is real, folks. And we got the head of marketing in the chat. How cool is that? I don't know how to make the face cam bigger. It pretty much is just kind of stuck at that size. But anywho, there's your pedals. There's your carbon fiber bink. There's the powertrain. The doors are attached. They're pivoting. Oh, can I have that one? You don't need to wrap it, Chris. I'll drive that one. So shout out to Chris McCammon for putting together that awesome video. I can't wait. I gotta go down there. FSD supervised is far too expensive for something that requires supervision and regulatory approval. In its current form, I agree, and there's probably going to be a growing number of people that feel that way because Teslas are getting cheaper and cheaper. So the idea of an $8,000 software purchase is a larger and larger percentage. You know, an $8,000 software purchase back when Teslas were 50 grand was probably easier to digest. But now that there's more and more people taking advantage of the tax credit, some people are buying Teslas now for like, you know, $34,000, or in the used market that, you know, down to like $25,000. So if a lot of people who are buying Teslas are only spending 25 grand or so, yeah, asking them to pay an additional 8 grand. Oh, that's cool. Out of Spec has like a watch party going down. That's fun. Um, I'm just glad Tesla's still live streaming on YouTube, because the last event was not on YouTube and it was very annoying. Twitter stream quality was awful. Thanks for watching it. Excited to watch this. Oh, cool. Aptterra is watching too. That's fun. Plum Carton says bench seat. If the parts of Walter Isaacson's biography are to be believed, yeah, I think actually the Robotaxi will be a bench seat. Oh, I think we're starting. I have it muted for now because I don't want to get copyright claimed. But once the event actually starts, I will turn on the audio. Okay. 10 p.m. Yeah, there's just playing music. There's no talking for now. Do I always use the following tab versus the for you? No, I use both. Depends on what I'm checking for. If I'm looking for what has come out right now, I'll switch to following. But if I am just killing time and I'm just like, okay, what's going on today? I just want like a general recap, then I'll go to the for you page. But love the classic video using the 16 Pro Max studio grade mics. We never hear you talk about them, or at least not on this channel. Need to promote it more, emphasize how much you love. What? This is not the iPhone 16 mics. Let me just warn you now. I'm using my MacBook Pro mic. I actually brought in my Zoom mic, but I was running late, so I didn't even plug it in. I'm curious. I'm a little hazy. Will it look better if I... No, I'm just orange, huh? There's got to be a better way to boost the brightness here. Let me try to boost the display a little bit. Maybe that's slightly better. Yeah, they'll talk about neural nets for sure. Wouldn't the insurance be ridiculous on an Aptterra the second it crashes the carbon tubes bullocks? No, they're right to repair company. Plus, it's an auto cycle, so they're trying to make it as serviceable and repairable as possible. You don't have to replace the entire bank. You can just replace the individual parts. That would be pretty structural damage anyway. So a bank is like 5 times stronger than steel. So if you damage the steel in a vehicle, that's usually a complete write-off. It's like structural damage. That's like pretty bad. So if you found a way to destroy the bank, it probably would have totaled the vehicle anyway. But yeah, the affordability of the parts and the fact that Aptterra is a right to repair company means that insurance should be pretty reasonable. But it'll all be up to the insurance companies, I guess. Depends on how they judge it. But um, 0% APR on new cars, but FSD is required. Yeah, I would advise against financing a car, even if it is 0% APR. But that's just me. You do you. I would not take advantage of the, well, it's free interest if you buy FSD. It's like, but where are you gonna buy FSD? And they've changed the price of FSD so many times anyway. And I'm like, yeah, there hasn't been a lot of payoff for people trying to lock in. Oh, I saw subtitles. Are there people talking? It said you for a second. What does it mean? Okay, let me expand this. It's pretty quiet, huh? That's okay. How do you skip this long ad music? Well, it's live. That's the problem. Can we go playback speed? Let's up the playback speed. 2x. Hey, we're fast forwarding into the future. Speed control is worse. XL is still bad. Everything else is better. Yeah, I even with regular cruise control, I'm pretty disappointed with the way my Tesla does it. It still accelerates too fast and decelerates too fast. It's not gentle. Um, they might show the updated Roadster with the SpaceX package. I just feel like, okay, we've said that like every event for the past 5 events, and it hasn't happened. I guess one of these events is probably going to be right, but I personally just feel like the Roadster has nothing to do with the spirit of this event. This event is all, they branded it We Robot, and all the invite pictures and pamphlets they're handing out have the humanoid robot on them, and people are all excited. Oh, like there's robots, there's going to be robots. I just feel like, what does the robot autonomy focus have to do with, oh, and by the way, our car is really, really fast? Like, I feel like that goes against the ethos of this event. I've actually suggested in the past that the Roadster should be canceled because it's kind of, it doesn't really serve a purpose anymore, um, other than to deliver all the free Roadsters to the YouTubers, of course. But the robots will make the car. Oh, I see. I got you. Can I full screen? Well, I'm just checking if I should jump back and forth. Seems like, are they live? Live on X. I want to see if one's ahead of the other. Let me condense this one down. I can't really tell which one's ahead. Are they not the same visualizer? So I have Twitter on one side and YouTube on the other. I will full screen eventually. I'm just jumping around here. Has FSD ever talked about having? Oh, yeah, they've talked about FSD doing everything. But oh wow, I think the Twitter one is way ahead. This is probably a visualization of neural nets, is what I'm guessing. The Model S is so fast we don't need the Roadster. Well, if you go back and watch the original Roadster version 2 unveiling, Elon says that the point of the Roadster 2 is to show that EVs can be better than gas cars in every way. And I'm like, okay, I believe that, but I don't think the Roadster proves that theory anymore. I think everybody knows, thanks to vehicles like the Rimac Nevera, the Porsche Taycan, and the Model S and the Lucid Air Sapphire, there's lots of examples that EVs can have high range, great acceleration, great handling, and great performance. So I don't think another $250,000 car that is also really fast, that also has rocket boosters on the back, I don't think that will convince anyone that's against EVs that, okay, I guess EVs are pretty cool. No, that's just like showing off, I guess. It just kind of complicates the engineering team and the manufacturing team stuff. I don't think it really proves that EVs are better. I think that point has already been proven by other amazing EVs. And what would be a much more convincing um, sign of confidence from EVs that, like, yes, EVs can be better than gas cars is if they have good range at a low price and they last a long time. That's what I think most people who are hesitant about EVs are skeptical of. They're skeptical of the price, the reliability, and the range. And as we address those problems with better charging, better efficiency, better battery technology, I think that will persuade more and more people that electric vehicles are the future. I don't think a Roadster would persuade anyone at this point. That's just showing off. The Roadster has to come out because it's already been paid for by people who will absolutely sue. Well, you can easily, the Tesla could just refund the money. You could just be like, sorry. I'm sure it's in the terms and conditions. Just like the Cybertruck pre-order agreement, I'm sure you could go in and look at the terms and conditions, and it says Tesla has the right to, cancel this vehicle. There's no forward-looking promise that we're guaranteeing this vehicle will be this. The specs might change. They could easily just refund all the money, or give people massive discounts on a Model S or X. Like, we're sorry we never made the Roadster. Have a free Plaid, or have a free Cyber Beast. Um, there's ways around it. They've covered themselves legally. I don't think they've backed themselves into some legal thing that says they definitely have to deliver those Roadsters. I'm sure they covered themselves in the fine print. Um, I try to fast forward. No, there's always going to be delay between what you can stream and what I can show, because I have to process and stream my reaction. That's just physically how this works. And then my reaction stream has to go to YouTube servers, and YouTube has to cast it to you. So there's always going to be a delay. Um, but I'm as fast forwarded as I can. This is live on YouTube. This is live on Twitter. I can't play it any faster. What's frustrating is that. Oh, and thank you, Haru, by the way, for all the super chats. You've been just crazy generous today. You kept saying, let's go, let's go. Thanks, you guys. Um, looks like when will Tesla use spiderweb composite structures? I don't know. You'll have to explain why that's better and cheaper. Otherwise, they probably won't do it. How late do these usually start on average? Um, I remember the Cybertruck event in particular started like 45 minutes late. I feel like it's usually because Elon's not there and they're waiting for him to show up. I recall there were like Giga Texas events where he literally was like getting out of the car as he arrived to the event. Like, there's going to be a PowerPoint presentation that I guarantee you Elon has never seen before. He's going to be reading these PowerPoint slides at the same time as us, and he's just going to read what they say. This happens almost every single event. Um, and I know they always time them at the worst possible. Like, I don't know why they want their events to happen so late into the evening. It's inconvenient for people on the East Coast. It's very, like, basically nobody in Europe can watch because it's super late. Um, it's kind of like going to the movies and the movie doesn't start until after 30 minutes of ads. Exactly. That's actually why if I do go to the movie theater, which is not often, but when I do, I look at the showtime and I will specifically add like 20 to 30 minutes just so that I don't have to sit through the ads. Um, and you had enough time to get KFC because oh, that sounds really good right now. I haven't had anything for dinner or lunch. Maybe Elon had an FSD intervention on his way to the event. Probably. I should, now that we have this time to kill, let me ask you, what should we watch the event on? And I'm going to include the downsides, by the way. Twitter, lower quality, um, versus YouTube, more delay. So we have choices, and I'll let the audience get to decide. You guys can vote. Last minute predictions. Okay. I'm gonna predict that like over 50% of this event is gonna be about Optimus. And there might be some real life demos, but the demos are going to not go as planned and it'll make mistakes. But Elon will say that there's room for improvement and we'll make it better. Everyone's saying YouTube. Even if there's more of a delay, we want to watch it on YouTube. Ban anyone who spoil things ahead in the chat. Well, that's easy. I just don't look at the chat. Um, there's always going to be a way to spoil it. You can always send a message faster than you can. Why is I follow Tesla's account. Why are they not? The live stream isn't showing up. Um, there it is. Okay, we'll just keep that available. This looks awesome. I really, really hope they do something like that. Look at this from Teslanomics. Wow, look at that Twitter quality. Okay, it's much better now. I love the butterfly doors. I love the one row of seats design. I like how it tapers off on the back. That is, if they sold a car like that, for 25 grand. Woo! I'm sold. Will the CyberCab be able to clean its own cameras? That's a great question, actually. I hope they address that because that's one of my issues with the scalability of robotaxis. Is like my car could be on FSD, but then if a bug hits the camera at the wrong position, it doesn't want to work. And then the windshield wipers are going off like crazy just because a bug splatted on the wrong place. I know there's random subtitles on YouTube, but every time I unmute it, I don't hear people. Yeah. Spiderweb fibers are very difficult to produce outside of spiders. All right. I guess we got to hire some more spiders. You can count the pixels on the Twitter feed. Yeah, YouTube goes up pretty high usually. Wow. On YouTube, they're streaming up to 4K. That's awesome. Hopefully, my internet lets us. It's normally I can stream 4K just fine, but I'm also live streaming, which can be kind of power intensive, and I'm also monitoring the live stream on a different computer. So let me pause that just in case it slows it up. But the quality should be much better, even though I'm not live streaming in 4K. It's actually kind of silly. YouTube compresses all live streams, so streaming at 4K, you really don't notice a big difference anyway. But looks like people are there. Oh, Kathy Wood from ArkInvest is there. I was just listening to a podcast she was on earlier this morning. Why are they late? They're always late, David. This is usual. I would actually be shocked if they were on time, but that's just me. Um, that's another thing I noticed. I got 5 system panics with 12.5.4 in 2 days. Oh yeah, there are so many times where FSD would system panic, as in completely shut off and say take over immediately, just because the sun was hitting it at the wrong angle. That's happened to me repeatedly. Like I could predict it was coming. I'd be like, oh, here comes the sun. Do 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 do. You need Starlink to live stream at 4K. Dude, I had Starlink. I was one of the first people with Starlink, and it sucked. At least for live streaming. The download performance of Starlink was great. It's the best satellite internet, I should clarify. But I canceled it because it was nowhere near as good as my 5G home internet. Or if you get fiber in your area, just use fiber. $20,000 Optimus would be better than a $25,000 EV. But why? Why do you want an Optimus? That's a real question. Plastic covered seats like Italian couches. Yeah, you got to keep it really clean, huh? You think it's going to have vinyl seats since they're easy to clean? I actually think the seats they use in their current Teslas are pretty easy to clean. But I guess maybe it's not the same level if you're trying to give people rides all day, every day. So I don't know. I'm my prediction is that most of the event is going to be about neural nets and software and chip design, and the CyberCab will probably be an afterthought, and there won't be much thought given to it, which will disappoint the masses, and then you'll see a little bit of a stock drop off yesterday. I don't know. I've been wrong before. Who knows if I'm right? But my hope, if you're asking me for a wish list, is that they mainly talk about manufacturing, specifically with an EV, about how we can drastically lower the cost of building EVs and simplify the design by kind of doing what we've seen in the teaser images for the CyberCab with little pads for both the seats that are very interchangeable. So instead of replacing an entire seat, you can just replace one little cushion. And they talk about how simple it is to crank out these pieces, and it doesn't need it doesn't need paint anymore. You can bypass the paint process with this new composite structure or this new wrapping technique. Or I'm more interested in the manufacturing side of stuff. That's what gets me excited. I've had way too many overpromise, underdeliver when it comes to this software next year is going to be so good because we bought so many GPUs. That stuff doesn't excite me that much because I'm like, yeah, okay. But you were saying next year 5 years ago, so it's hard for me to get excited about robotaxis when they were telling us to get excited about robotaxis in 2019. April of 2019, by the way. That's when I watched through and through live on my YouTube channel. I watched 3.5 hours of Autonomy Day where they explained how they were going to release 1 million robotaxis in 2020. And it's near the end of 2024. So I'm I think rightfully very, very skeptical of any this will be completely autonomous, safer than a human claims, because they've been wrong with the timelines way too many times. But the manufacturing stuff, I feel like they have more so delivered on. They've lowered the price of EVs. They've made batteries cheaper. Now we've got a 363-mile range, four-door, five-seater sedan with a lot of storage space, ventilated seats, ambient lighting, great display, great infotainment, a rear-mounted display, great suspension, fast for 34 grand. Like Tesla, as far as like the manufacturing and the lower cost and still maintaining profits, that's the side of Tesla that excites me because I'm like they've delivered on that. The charging network, um, Cybertruck was late, but they did technically deliver on it and much more expensive. So I guess as far as Tesla's concerned, I'm much more of a fan of the hardware stuff. Um, Autonomy Day was a long time ago, but pretty much nothing that they talked about at that event happened. Tesla pioneered the EV movement. Absolutely. I don't think we would have an EV industry without Tesla. Some people disagree with that, but I personally just don't think there would be investors and there wouldn't be legacy automakers pursuing EVs if it weren't for Tesla proving that it can be done profitably. Um, let's see. What is the latest date Elon has said for the Roadster? The last time he talked about it, he said they would unveil it at the end of 2024 and deliver it at the end of 2025. But he's said many things that ended up not happening. So I wouldn't hold too much weight in his timeline. I wouldn't be shocked at all. The Roadster was supposed to start deliveries in 2020. Let's be clear about that. The latest claim from Elon is 2025, but in 2023 he said 2024, and in 2022 he said 2023. So I wouldn't put too much weight in his latest claim. He gets distracted easily. What does Tim Cook drive? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he has someone drive him. Is Aptterra still experimenting with FSD? I remember seeing a video of them using open source. Yeah, it's called Open Pilot. Chris McCammon, who was in the chat earlier, actually used to work at Comma AI is the name of the company, and it's a crowd-based AI service. A lot of people have said it's the next best thing after FSD, but actually Aptterra was very focused on trying to find the most efficient self-driving system because they're such an energy conscious vehicle. You know, they have a 42 kilowatt hour battery pack that's supposed to get them 400 miles of range. So now all of these little things like your HVAC or your sound system or any little thing, the lighting is a much bigger impact on your range than previous vehicles, which is why they've made sure to use the most efficient headlight design possible, the most efficient HVAC system possible, and also the most efficient self-driving system possible, because some self-driving systems, a lot of people don't realize, with all those cameras and the processing power, they can chew up a lot of watts. Like hardware 4 on the latest Tesla uses over 100 watts when it's on, when it's active, which is quite a bit. In some other cars out there that are using radar and that are using LiDAR, if you're using LiDAR and radar in your system, it's easily consuming 300, 400, 500 watts anytime you turn it on, which is a huge impact on your range if you're a super efficient vehicle like an Aptera. So they went with the Open Pilot computer because it consumes like it's an insane number. It's something like 35 watts. So it's like a third or less than a third the amount of energy that a Tesla FSD computer chip uses. It's pretty impressive how much it can do, how much it can uh, do on its own and be installed in any car. It's not exclusive to Aptera, but Aptera is specifically designing for it. But it's amazing how much it can do with just 35 watts. It's a very simple, very energy efficient system. Um, when will Aptera come to market? Next year. I mean, that's what we were just showing earlier. They had a production parts all being assembled. They've got PI builds coming together right now. So it's no longer in the prototyping stage. They're done with prototypes. They're making PI builds. The same parts that are in those PI builds are the same parts that are going to go in customer deliveries, which should be next year. Check expert Tesla owner Silicon Valley. Oh, okay. Is there something that's been revealed? Where is he? I think I'm following him. Oh my God. You've got a Jim Carrey, the Musk from Zero to One. That's the mask reference. That's funny. Oh no, someone passed out right behind at the Tesla event. Firefighters came quickly. Oh shoot, that's not good. Is that what you wanted me to look at? People are saying royalty has arrived. Oh, that's Kimball Musk. Man. Um, Tesla said less than 15 minutes, 34 minutes ago, and it still hasn't started. Well, I think the poll is official. Everyone prefers me to watch it on YouTube, so I'm ending the poll there. Are you transmitting the event or just talking? Yes. Once the event actually starts, I will unmute. I'm just not playing the music because I don't want to get copyright claimed. But Tesla usually, unless they've changed their mind on something, Tesla is usually okay. Ooh, look at this. Human loading zone. Tesla Theater. That's funny. But Shell bought them a few months ago and have officially killed free charging now. Oh, dang it. That's a shame, but I also didn't believe there was much of a future in free charging. That's electricity is probably just going to get more and more expensive, so I don't think there's oh, some posters are being revealed. AI instead of ET. There's the Tesla bot with the laser. I guess it's at Warner Brothers Studios, so there's kind of a cinema emphasis. Yeah, I think there's a very real chance the Aptterra will come out before the Roadster. There's at least been more transparency on the development of the Aptterra. Bots, there's the shark. That's cute. That's the same thing, just blurry. Okay. Thanks, Chris, for the update. Um, Kathy Woods at the event. That's cool. Apparently, there's a drinking game. Oh, that the out of spec watch party. Okay. Could I do a deep dive video about the Samsung solid state battery being tested in EV now? Specs 9-minute charge time, 500-mile range, 20-year life. I've talked about many times in the past. The reason I don't dive super deep into them is because the problem with EV adoption, I don't think is really with the range. I don't think it makes sense to do a 500-mile range because most people don't drive 500 miles. If you can do a 500-mile range battery for I don't know $20,000, then you could do a 250-mile range for $20,000. The question with any new battery technology and its viability for EVs is, can you scale it? Because EVs require a crap ton of batteries compared to any other electronic we've ever made. You're talking our phones having like what, 8, 10 watt hours. Our laptops, the big one, maybe has 100 watt hours. That's pretty much the maximum they go before they're not allowed to go on flights. And an EV needs like 80 kilowatt hours. That's 80,000 watt hours compared to our laptops using like 100 watt hours. So it doesn't matter if you can do a solid state battery that's, 500-mile range, 20-year life, and 9-minute charging. If you can only build like 100 kilowatt hours a month, then okay, you can only build like one car a month. That's just like, it's not viable. It's not good for EVs. Um, it's like it's always going to be more cost competitive and more efficient for the vehicle to have a smaller battery pack because batteries are heavier than gas. I don't think solid state is coming soon. No, I mean maybe it makes sense in lower volume applications. Maybe like the financial model for air travel, electric air travel, is totally different because those vehicles are typically much more expensive. But cars, in order to be mass market, have to start hitting the sub 50, sub $40,000 range, and you're not going to hit that with a super low volume battery design. So the scaling of production is the key. That's the key. The problem with drivers, where we're going, we don't need drivers. Is that the design? Master Plan Part 4. We haven't even finished Master Plan Part 2. Oh my god. Uh People are saying Elon posted. Hold on real quick. I gotta look him up because I don't follow him. Sorry, I'm getting outed. I'm sorry. He just tweets way too many things. Uh, you can watch this on your TV. Oh, great! Not through is it through Twitter? On the XTV app. Okay. He's tweeting photos. We don't need drivers. That's a cool design if that's it. I mean, what is that? Doesn't look like a DeLorean. Is that the CyberCab? I don't know. What are we looking at here? Is Sandy gonna be there all beard up? Oh, you know it. My phone is about to run out of battery. That's okay. I have a backup webcam. Also, I thought I had a Type C cable. Oh yeah, I do. It's right here. I'll plug in my phone. Don't worry. That does very much look like the YouTube TV app. Good on you, Twitter. You copied it someone else. Um, the bingo has already started. People are saying, let's get this started. In traditional Tesla fashion, 30 minutes in, the event still has not begun. I can't say I'm surprised, though. I joke about this happening for every Tesla event, and so far the joke has always landed. It looks more like a Model 3. Oh, people are saying to check his replies. Oh my God. Okay. What's he saying? Sleeps once a week. Can watch this on TV. He's laughing. Oh, a person in the crowd had a medical emergency, so we're taking care of them before starting. Well, that's good. I guess it makes sense to keep people's health conscious. Everybody's waiting. Hope that one guy's okay. But it's nice to hear Elon say that it's they're ready to go. They're just holding off to take care of that. Um, that's a legit reason. That's a real reason. Check the McDonald's reply. Jeez. What's your bingo items for the event? I don't know. I never got the bingo thing. I just feel like everyone has the same layout of squares, so you all get bingo at the same time. I don't know. You can't boss a billionaire around. No, it's pretty hard to do that. I doubt Mel Brooks likes Musk, but he likes the licensing royalties. Did he license the terminology? Um, yeah, human life before the robot updates. That's fair enough. Why would you show up if you had an emergency? He showed up and then had the emergency. Person saw the design and passed out. Okay. Funny. A little too soon. We hope they're okay, but yeah, still funny. Send the Robotaxi to the hospital. Yeah, really. Yeah. Event starting late. Check. Can you schedule the emergency for later? Um, Hopefully they get that all sorted out. Raptor Buddy says this is the first Tesla event that he's catching live. Wow. You're in for something. You never really know what you're going to get with a Tesla event. They always kind of. Sometimes it's quite a disappointment. Other times it's like, oh, you're doing that? Remember at the Cybertruck event where they're like, also, we made an ATV. What happened to the ATV? Hopefully it's not Sandy. Yeah, that's a good point. Romeo and Juliet says, I think hydrogen hybrids is the future. I disagree. I don't think people will switch to a renewable energy source unless it's cheaper than fossil fuels, and hydrogen has proven to not be cheaper than fossil fuels. And it's near impossible to get it cheaper than fossil fuels because hydrogen vehicles are usually just more complicated EVs. They rely on electric motors and they usually still require battery packs. So all of the electricity and power that it takes to harness and transport hydrogen could be used on just charging a battery. Surprised nothing has leaked. I mean, I think there's a good chance that the CyberCab will look like the design in Walter Isaacson's book. Would you consider that a leak? Hydrogen refuel stations are very expensive to set up. I agree. Yeah. There were several that went up and then were taken down because the companies couldn't afford to keep refueling them. What EV would you choose to buy for your mom if you had to give her one? It's actually a very relevant conversation, Rocket Man, because my mom just had the gas engine in her Hyundai Azura go out. Her transmission went out, and the cost to fix the engine was going to be about the same price as buying a whole new car or a used car. So she was thinking about going electric. Um, and obviously, I think a used Tesla Model 3 would kind of be perfect, but I'm not sure if she's quite ready to make the switch yet because she doesn't want to spend really much at all on a new car or on another car. Um, but for her use cases, she doesn't really road trip with her car. I'd probably recommend a used Chevy Bolt. You can find a lot of Chevy Bolts for like low tens, which is more in the line with her budget, like 11,000, $12,000. Um, and you can find some of them with replaced battery packs. So even though it's like a 2018 or a 2019 Bolt, the battery pack is from 2022. So you get a fairly fresh battery. You get over 200 miles of range. Fairly efficient too. Those older Chevy Bolts got about 4 miles per kilowatt hour, which for a hatchback is really good. The only downside really of a Chevy Bolt, in my opinion, is the DC fast charging times aren't great. But aside from that, if you're really not looking for a road trip machine, I watch a lot of content creators that love their Chevy Bolts, and I've come very close to buying one myself. We're kind of in need of one. My wife is driving to work, and I'm driving to work, so we're kind of fighting between who gets to take the Tesla. So it'd be nice if we had a second EV, but obviously we don't want to spend a ton of money on one because it feels like every year EVs are getting cheaper. So there's definitely financial incentive to waiting. It feels like the longer you can wait, probably the better deal you're going to get. Um, People are saying the crowd is wild. Oh, they're just talking. I thought they were going to be like, is that the bell tower from Back to the Future? That's awesome. I don't know if it is, but that would be cool. Um, Oh, May hanging with Tosca and May Musk, says Matthew DR. Does that count as hanging with May if she doesn't know you're taking the picture? Um, Elon is about to walk out, they said 3 minutes ago. Okay. Dylan says Bolt is probably the best used bet. I considered one much happier. I got the Model Y instead. Yeah, Tesla's a better vehicle, no doubt about it. But objectively, I don't think you'll find a used Model Y or 3 for the same price as a used Bolt. But if you can afford a used Tesla, that's a great deal. Um, let's see. Now the person who passed out is standing up, so they're about to start. Okay, good, good. Folks love their volts. Yeah, I know a lot of people that had volts and they appreciated them. I would just go straight bolt. Like for my mom's use cases, I know how she's driving her car. She's not road tripping. She doesn't need the occasional 500-mile range. Um, I think she'd be totally fine with a Chevy Bolt. Or if she's open to spending a little more, I think she'd be great with a used Model 3. You can get a salvage Tesla Model S Plaid for 200 bucks on repairable. What? Not 200. Regen braking on hybrid saves so much money on brakes. Oh yeah. Well, it's on all vehicles. On full EVs too, it saves a ton of money. Randy says, "Is the future always this late?" Tesla. I don't know about the future, but Tesla is always this late. Although to be fair, Randy, they someone at the event had a medical emergency in the crowd, so they held off on the event until that person got medical assistance. But it sounds like that person's okay. Um, Here, me might be holding up. It's bad. Confirmed by people are tagging me, but the later tweets I'm seeing, everyone's trying to get a picture with May Musk. Um, yeah, Elon saying just helping out someone in the crowd, then we will start. So to be fair, in the past, the events were late because Elon wasn't there and his plane was late or he was stuck in traffic. This time there's a more legitimate reason, but it seems like it's been resolved, so the event should be starting shortly. The no plus ones allowed sucks because people's spouses were getting denied entry. Oof. Yikes. I don't think that's Ben Shapiro, that's Sanders Sky, who's a what a cyber bull. Yeah, this guy has a reservation on a Tesla semi. I don't know why, but Model Y with plate Y025 has made 4 consecutive laps around the stage so far. Interesting. Would anyone else be disappointed if the Robotaxi rides were just in a Model Y and it's just a newer version of FSD that they're running? I wouldn't be I wouldn't be pumped by that. I want to see a CyberCab unveil. I'll put that out there. I will be shocked if they don't unveil some kind of CyberCab because they've talked about it for a while. They've said they're going to unveil it later this year. Um, so I don't think it's going to get enough attention. My guess is that Tesla will spend way too much attention on Optimus, which they think is a much bigger deal than I do. But I'm more interested in the Cybercab. America needs hybrid minivans, trucks, and cars 20 years ago. Ford Maverick should have been released in 2010. Hey, uh, there's great minds out there working on it. Let's see. There's a good chance they would have been late anyway. Absolutely. There's a very high likelihood they would have been late regardless. Any short of a cab will be disappointing. I still anticipate, based on my experience, usually when we do these hype streams, people are disappointed. I predict most of you will be disappointed in some regard. I think the one more things that Tesla has planned for this event are going to be things most of you don't care about because most of you are probably like me and are more interested in the car stuff, less interested in the humanoid robot stuff. And the one more things are going to be Optimus demos and talk about how great Optimus is going to be. Um, and I don't think most of us are interested in that. Will Tesla stock go up after this? Who knows? It's a gamble. No, don't trust anyone that makes short-term stock movement predictions. They don't know. They're just betting. It's slightly more calculated gambling. However, all I'll say is after watching all of these Tesla events over the years, almost every single event I've ever seen was followed by the stock declining because the event pretty much never lives up to the hype because the hype always goes way too high. That's the whole point of the event is the cab, right? Well, think about it. They titled the event We Robot. They didn't title it CyberCab Unveil. They didn't title it Robotaxi Unveil. They titled it We Robot. And they've got this whole humanoid robot theme going with all the event announcements. We have taken care of them and will be starting shortly, Elon said a minute ago. So that's good. There's definitely a lot of humanoid robot marketing and images on the movie posters and all that with the robotics arm. So I think my guess is the humanoid robot is going to get too much attention and the cybercab will not get enough attention. That's my prediction. They'll unveil it, but they won't talk enough about it. And we're going to be like, tell us more about the. You know, that's usually how this goes. Remember at the Cybertruck delivery event when they started delivering cars and we were all asking, what's the price? What's the range? And during the entire event where they talk about the specs and the torque and the performance and the acceleration. At no point in the entire event did they say the price of the range. That's that was the same Tesla. That wasn't even a year ago. Um, if I see one more humanoid but controlled by human, yeah, it's gonna be someone dancing in a suit. That'll be awesome. Hype was priced in, so probably down to 230 and then up again. Yeah, it'll probably take 3 to 4 months to recoup from the disappointment. But I would love to be surprised. I'd love to be proven wrong. I hope this event exceeds everyone's expectations and there's roadsters and Model Y refreshes and there's cyber cabs and $20,000 Teslas that you can buy next year. All that would be great. Um, but we're not going to know until we watch it. Yeah, there were subtitles for a second, but I didn't see anything. So far, just a very long visualizer. Um, I'm already disappointed, and the event didn't even start. I see people in the chat that are like, I want to go to bed. It's too late. Mark said, did I miss anything? Nope. You've missed nothing. The event hasn't started. Elon's probably going to spend more time telling people who to vote for than actually talk about. Oh, God. Can you imagine? I hate how right you probably are. I don't care who your political preference is. I just don't want politics to get involved in EV topics. I'm an EV guy. I want to talk about EVs. I don't want to talk about the election. I don't want to talk about politics. Is it true that we could get a $70,000 Cybertruck by end of the year? Well, they've started delivering the $80,000 Cybertruck. However, I think the only ones they've delivered so far have the bigger wheels, so it's more like a $84,000 Cybertruck. Um, is it always this late? Yeah. Although there was a medical emergency, to be fair, this time, so they tweeted that they were holding off on starting the event because they wanted to make sure that everybody was okay and the person in the crowd got the medical attention they needed. But um, yes, most Tesla events don't start on time. I was on the phone with my wife driving home, and I told her that there's a decent chance the event won't start until like 45 minutes after uh, when they said it would start. So What happened to the Model S refresh? Which one? I feel like the Model S just got refreshed like 3 years ago. We need another one? How many refreshes do we need? Um, let's see. Good thing you rushed home to start on time. Well, you never know how late they're going to be. I think, to be fair, there was an event. What was it? AI Day 2, I think, started right on time. It was very unusual. It was very bizarre. So you got to be ready for the event to start. But I did rush home because I wanted to catch the intro. And I also wanted to do some last minute leaks. This is fun for me too, catching your guys' thoughts in real time. That's always fun to do live, and also reading the tweets in real time to see what's going on at the event, the catering. Um, Having fun while waiting for Elon. There's a bunch of kids running around. Jeez. People seeing who's there. Um, who said marriage proposal incoming? You can't you can't propose to Elon's mom. Every Tesla car needs refreshed with steer by wire. I agree. Steer by wire was amazing. That was my favorite feature of the Cybertruck by far, and I want that on everything. But if they happen to add it, I think this would be my dream case scenario, because I know Tesla's not going to stop trying to make robotaxis. They can't. They've committed too much to it. Even if it doesn't happen, they got to keep trying. They got to keep showing progress. They got to keep saying, we're doing everything we can to make robotaxis happen. My best case scenario is they unveil the CyberCab at this event. It's very aerodynamic. It's very small. It's futuristic. It has those butterfly doors. Um, gets like 7 miles per kilowatt hour or something awesome like that. And then it's designed for a robotaxi platform, of course, so there's no steering wheel or pedals. But then they also say, regulatory wise, we might not be able to deliver these everywhere. So we're also going to, on the assembly line, offer an option with steering wheel and pedals and mirrors that we can sell to people in the United States for a low price, because it's not a very big vehicle. It's not very fast. It won't have high range. It's not going to be like a 300-mile range EV. It'll probably be like a 250-mile range EV with a little bit of storage space and maybe only 2 to 3 seats, more likely two. If it's more of a direct to consumer model. But they sell that for 25 grand. Maybe with the tax credit, it's like 18 grand. There would just be way too much demand for that, though, which is why it's probably not going to happen. There would be a wait list like 7 years long if they said, by the way, we're making a $20,000 car. Um, so that's probably not going to happen, but that would be my dream case scenario: is a small, efficient, affordable, steer-by-wire, cyber-esque Tesla. That would be kind of my dream car. I mean, that's what I love about the Aptterra so much, is that it's solar. Although I'm discovering more and more that I need range more than I used to. Back when I originally got my car, we didn't have to drive as far. But now that I've got this new job at Tello Trucks, for those of you who don't know, I took a position at a startup company in the Bay, and there's a lot of talented people working there, people that used to work at Tesla, that are now working there, and they're making all electric mini trucks. They're not asking me to say this. I'll just pull up the website in case you're curious. But yeah, we've got Tesla co-founders investing in us. We've got some big names that are coming on board, and I'm helping spread the word. So if you haven't yet, uh, the wait list is growing for this. By the way, there's thousands and thousands of people that have put a refundable deposit down. So if you would like, and you're curious about an all-electric mini truck, it's got a bigger bed than a Rivian, but it's shorter than a R3. I'll uh, I'll paste that in the chat in case anybody wants to check it out. Just so you guys know why I'm busy so much and maybe not uploading as frequently as I used to, because I'm working with this startup company and it's a very exciting time. It's a form factor of a two-door Mini Cooper, but with the same truck bed as a Tacoma, and it still seats five, and it's safe. We have a unobtrusive crumple zone and a bunch of safety simulation testing, and it's a mid-gate, so you can fit 4 by 8 foot sheets of plywood in the back. You can't do that in the Cybertruck with the tailgate up. So cool stuff going on. The Tesla event hasn't happened yet, but yes, the Tello truck will have NACS. It'll be NACS by day one. um, the charge port, we haven't revealed it yet, but the charge port will be in a very convenient location so that it doesn't occupy two stalls at superchargers. That's all I'll say. And it's more affordable too. The launch model, which is the all-wheel drive dual motor, 500 horsepower, by the way. The Tello truck has the same horsepower as the Performance Model 3, which I've driven myself. It's insane. 350 miles of range, 4 seconds 0 to 60. That one's going to be $50,000 before incentives. That's before gas savings and before the tax credit and everything. But the line is growing. So, like I said, if you want to get one of these before 2027 or so, I'd recommend placing a deposit because the line is growing quickly. But yeah, I'm working with all these guys. I was actually just there today filming some news projects, exciting ones. I'm excited to share with you all soon, but I can't really talk about them yet. But anywho, Tello's awesome. Shameless plug. It's a cool design. Yeah, it's very practical. The second row of seats folds flat. The back the back end of the bed, the back of the second row seats is made of the same bed liner, so the bed sits completely flush with the midgate down. And there's a we call this the monster tunnel. There's a little side tunnel. The difference between our tunnel though and the Rivian is that our tunnel you can access from the bed. In the Rivian, you can only access the gear tunnel from the sides. The monster tunnel, I call it, is under the bed. Um, so you can actually access that from either side and step on these little panels here, or you can access it from the bed. So it's like sub storage. But yeah, 8 foot bed with the midgate down, and the second row of seats folds down to be completely flush. And we'll have CarPlay and Android Auto, and great charging curve. There's a lot of work going into the charging curve. Yeah, we think it'll do really well in Europe. It'll really do well everywhere. But our launch market is the U.S. Suburban variant. Yeah, there will be van variants, but the first model will be a truck. But yeah, you can add a third row of seats and you can add a canopy on the top. But is the event started yet? Nope. Thought they'd be ready by now. Yeah, the first deliveries will be in 2026, but there's already a big wait list of people, which is why I said if you want to get one by 2027, you probably need to reserve one today. Um, there's already thousands of people in line ahead of you if you haven't pre-ordered one. Um, but yeah, it's a cool truck. I'm excited about it. It's all about trying to make more efficient transportation. It's the most efficient pickup truck ever made. There's no other electric truck that comes close to the efficiency that the Tello truck achieves. So it's super aerodynamic, but still good at off-roading. We got 10 inches of ground clearance. That's more ground clearance than the Rivian R2, and way better departure and approach angles than the Rivian R2 as well for a similar price point. But yeah, there will be a cargo van version as well. I have those in here somewhere. Old Town, where'd they go? Hello, van. There it is next to a e-Transit, but it's a sliding door variant. There it is in color. And yeah, there's the van variant. The van variant can fit a lot more packages, obviously, because it's front wheel drive, actually. So the cool thing about the van variant is you take out the rear motor, and then the accessible height for the loading bay is much, much lower. So you just have sliding doors and a lot of storage space in a very, very small form factor. So anyway, cool stuff. I'm also biased because this is a startup company that's hired a YouTuber, so that makes me kind of biased in that way. But they're pretty cool. It's a great team. Very proud to work with them, and it's all about better safety, not just for occupants but also for pedestrians. There's like way more pedestrian deaths than there's ever been in the last few decades, and the downward frontal visibility of this truck makes it much much safer for our roads while still being very practical. Lots of range, lots of torque, 6,600 pounds towing capacity, 1,600 pounds of payload, and what was the other spec? So is there another medical emergency? Are they late again? My goodness. Come on, Tesla. Let's get this show on the road. Um, would it be a good pizza delivery vehicle? Oh, I'm sure. It can deliver a lot more than just pizzas. It'd be a good delivery vehicle, period. But yeah, surprisingly roomy. The interior cabin space is about the same as it's actually a little bit more roomy than a Tacoma. So if you've ever been at Tacoma, the inside is about like that. Scott says, "You had me at Tello. Love the van version, believe it or not, doing 18 color scheme. Yeah. Would it be acceptable if there was a safety driver? Would the event still be considered a success? It depends on how involved the driver is, I feel like. If he's taking over, that would be embarrassing. But if he's just sitting there and he never touches the wheel, I guess some people might consider that impressive. I would still look at it as a disappointment because there's already public Google Waymos and cruise vehicles. Um, how long before automated non-disclosure videos hit YouTube? I don't. Elon says starting. Okay. How many miles per kilowatt hour or watt hour per mile in the Tello? So just to give you a little perspective, the Cybertruck with the efficient wheels on the dual motor powertrain with the most efficient ugly tires, the Cybertruck gets 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour. The Rivian also gets around the same, even though it's smaller. It's actually, I don't know what it is with the drag or the motors or something, but the Rivian, if you get the most efficient range wheels, gets around 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour. In real world tests, it's usually not that good, but so Cybertruck's around 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour. Rivian's around 2.9. The Tello's are around 3.3, and that's not even the most efficient model. The least efficient Tello with the big battery pack and the dual motor powertrain, basically the performance variant. That one, oh, is it now starting? Okay, good. Franz.
Around the world, outer space. I'm Franz.
In space, I'm Franz.
And on behalf of everybody at Tesla, welcome to We Robot.
All right, we're in. It's starting. It's starting.
Just want to thank Warner Brothers for hosting us here. As you know, this is the birthplace of many epic films, many of them depicting a vision of the future.
We're making a movie.
We're here tonight to experience that future that is closer than you think.
There was a "Don't sue us" disclaimer. That's hilarious.
And who better than Elon, right, to show us that future?
It's very quiet, by the way.
So it looks like Elon's on his way. So let's welcome him
on his way.
here.
Who else wants Franz to swing the hammer? Oh, oh. What is that? Is that it? Whoa! Hey! What is that? Oh my God! Look at it. Oh, it's so little. Come back! I don't care about Elon. Come back to the car. That is Starman. That's not a robot. Did you see the cab? Whoa! Oh wow, it's so clean. Okay, the back tires are definitely bigger. There's no glass roof. Oh, did you see the user interface? That was so cool. Okay, I see the repeater cameras. Wow, it's so cute. I love how little it is. Wow. I like the light bar. Gotta do it. There's no mirrors, of course. Don't need mirrors. Oh, it looks so slippery. What's the coefficient of drag? What's the efficiency numbers? That's basically a little roadster. There's lots of them. Please don't lag on me now. That one was driving. Wait, why is it all stretched all of a sudden? Wow. It looks so good. Elon's just sitting there like this. Whoa. I want one. Oh, look at all the bikes. Whoa, it's got like projector lights coming out of it. You see that? You see the headlights? Wow. That is so cool. No, it's a Robotaxi. It doesn't need mirrors, right? That's the whole point. If they delivered it to customers, it would probably have to have mirrors. Wow, the headlights are so cool. Wow. Okay, he didn't drive it. He did not drive that. It just drove around. That was awesome. Can Tesla make e-bike? Wait a minute. Why do robotaxis need signals?
Welcome. Welcome to the Wii Robot Party.
Just an hour late.
So we have We have quite a show for you tonight. I think,
That was
I
such
think
a
you're gonna like
beautiful
it.
design.
As you can see, I just arrived in the Robotaxi, the CyberCab. And there's 20 more where that came from.
20? What?
So they've been traveling. There's no people in them, as you can see. The car's just going by with no people.
They're driving right now? Cut to that! Wow! There's no one in those.
We have 50 fully autonomous cars here tonight.
50? Whoa, that's
So
impressive.
you'll see Model Ys and the CyberCab.
20
all
CyberCabs,
driverless.
I see.
You'll be able to take a ride in the CyberCab. There's no
Wow.
steering wheel or pedals.
That's awesome. Okay.
So I hope this goes well. We'll find out.
Wow. So some of them are Model Ys, just to be clear.
So you see a lot of sci-fi movies where the future is
the
dark and
captions are not
dismal,
working.
where it's not a future you want to be in.
Not this.
So, like, I love Blade Runner, but I don't know if we want that future. I think we want that duster he's wearing, but not the bleak apocalypse. We want to have a fun, exciting future that if you could look in a crystal ball and see the future, you'd be like, yes, I wish I could be there now. That's what we want. So when we think about transport today, there's a lot of kind of
threw
pain
trains
that we
under the
take for
bus.
granted that we think is normal. Like having to drive around LA in like 3 hours of traffic.
Yeah. Everyone had to
people
do
that live
that.
in LA, I mean, try to get from Pasadena to, El Segundo during rush hour is like, you can fly to, another city faster than you can get to cross town
I can't
LA.
believe there's 20
And you have to
robotaxis.
drive
That's
the whole
awesome.
way. Unless you're in a Tesla, of course. Now, Tesla already does quite well at this, supervised self-driving. So supervised full self-driving is actually working quite well. I'm sure there's people in the crowd, you're using that, yeah?
Yeah. It's all right.
So we'll move from supervised full self-driving to unsupervised full self-driving, where the car, you could fall asleep and wake up at your destination. So,
Sounds great.
but there's also a challenge for a lot of people that cars cost too much. I mean, when you factor in everything that goes into a car, and the car insurance, and the car payments, and the
Please sell the
storage
cab.
of the car,
Sell the
it's
CyberCab.
very expensive.
It looks so cool.
So, with and you said like how many hours a week are cars used? Your average passenger car is only used about 10 hours a week out of 168 hours. So the vast majority of the time, cars are just doing nothing. But if they're autonomous,
Yeah, I know.
they could be used, 5 times more, maybe 10 times more. So you could actually, for
use
the
my
same
car a lot.
car, would have 5 times as much value, maybe 10 times as much value. There's 168 hours in the week, and like I said, only 10 of them are used for driving.
There's 104
So, and
days.
then a bunch of those hours are looking for a parking spot, which is, can be pretty annoying at times. So we want to, with autonomy, you get your time back. This is a very big deal. So it's not just it'll save lives, like a lot of lives, and prevent injuries. I think we'll see autonomous cars become 10 times safer than a human. I mean, if you think of times past where there used to be an elevator operator in every elevator, but once in a while they get tired and they accidentally shear somebody in half, So
Don't do that.
now we have automated elevators. You just get in an elevator and you press a button, and you don't even think about it. And it just takes you to the floor. And if you did see an elevator operator with a big relay switch, you'd be like, that's weird. Now that's how cars will be. And it's not just the lives saved in injuries, but if you think about the cumulative time that people spend in a car, and the time that they will get back, that they can now spend, well, I guess on their phones,
All right.
or watching a movie, or doing work, or whatever you want
More
to do.
phones.
You can think of the car in an autonomous world as being like just a little lounge. You're just sitting in a comfortable little lounge, and you can do whatever you want while you're in this comfortable little lounge. And when you get out, you will be at your destination. So, yeah, it's going to be
Show
awesome.
us the lounge.
So,
Show us the lounge, please.
so in fact, I think the cost of
The next slide looks
autonomous
cool.
transport
Cut
will
back.
be so low that
Ooh.
you can think of it like individualized.
Wow, that's a huge screen.
The average
Holy
cost
crap.
of a bus per mile for a city, not the ticket price because that is subsidized, but the
Whoa.
average price is
I
about
love this
$1 a mile.
B-roll.
Whereas the cost of CyberCab, we think probably over time from the operating
Powered
cost
doors.
is probably going to be around 20 cents a mile.
Why is the screen that big?
And price, including taxes and everything else, probably ends up being 30 or 40 cents a mile.
Whoa.
So yes, and you will be able to buy one.
He said you can buy one. Okay, good.
Yes, exactly. We expect the cost to be below $30,000.
Below 30? I want less than that.
And I think there'll be an interesting, business model where, like, let's say somebody is an, Uber or Lyft driver today, where they can actually sort of manage a fleet of cars, and sort of manage, I don't know, 10, 20 cars, and just sort of take care of them like a shepherd tends their flock. You have your flock of cars, and you're the shepherd, and you take care of your flock of cars.
We get
that'd
the
be pretty
idea.
cool.
The execution is the challenge.
And
Was that a bench seat?
It's going to be a glorious future. It's going to be really something special. So, yes, good, all excellent questions.
Don't respond to the people shouting out. It creates problems.
We do expect actually to start fully autonomous, unsupervised FSD in Texas and California next year.
Next year.
And
Stop me if you've heard that
that's
before.
obviously, that's with the Model 3 and Model Y. And then we expect to be in production with the CyberCab, which is really highly optimized for autonomous transport in probably, well, I tend to be a little optimistic with timeframes, but in 2026. So, yeah.
Okay.
Before 2027, let me put it that way.
It'll be after 2027.
And we'll make this vehicle in very high volume.
It looks so cool.
But well before that, you will experience a robotic taxi via the Model 3 and Model Y program, and Model S and X too. But
not the Cybertruck.
Your 3 and Y will achieve unsupervised full self-driving with permission in wherever regulators essentially approve it in the U.S. and then to follow in outside the U.S. So, and Cybertruck too, yes, of course. Sorry, I don't want to forget. Yes. All our cars are basically
but not the semi
that we make. So
see, now everyone's shouting because you rewarded that.
let's not get nuanced here. All right, next slide.
Now everybody's trying to shout something. This is why you don't answer the people who shout out.
One of the reasons why the computer can be so much better than a person is that we have millions of cars that are training on driving. So it's like living millions of lives simultaneously and seeing very unusual
Aptterra's coming out first.
That a person in their entire lifetime would not see. But
whoa.
Hopefully.
Yikes.
Yeah, exactly. So with that amount of training data, it's obviously going to be much better than what a human can
I know
do,
exactly where that road is.
because you can't live a million lives. And it's also, it can see in all directions simultaneously, and it doesn't get tired or text or any of those things.
The person who recorded that video was driving on the wrong
be,
side
like
of the road.
Said, 10, 20, 30 times safer than a human, just for all those reasons. And I want to emphasize that the solution that we have is AI and vision. So there's no expensive equipment needed. So the Model 3 and Model Y and S and X that we make today will be capable of full autonomy unsupervised.
You said that.
And
We get
that
it.
means that our cost of producing the vehicle is low.
I don't know. Robotaxis
Now,
exist, but
we
they're
are
not
gonna
from
actually
Tesla.
overspec the computer for the CyberCab. So our AI5 computer will be somewhat overspec'd. And because I think there's actually also an opportunity, sort of like an Amazon Web Services, where if the car is driving for 50 hours a week, there's still over 100 hours left. And there's a potential there to have a massive amount of distributed inference compute, where if you've got, like, say, a fleet of 100 million vehicles and a kilowatt of efficient inference compute, you have 100 gigawatts of compute, which is really quite substantial.
What?
If it's there, you might as well use it.
I know what he means. I'm just
Yeah.
everyday
that's-
people are going to be
that I
confused
think
by that.
will make sense. So, all right. So our autonomous future is here. As I said, we've got 50 Teslas driving autonomously. We're trying to give you a sense of what cities will be like in the future.
Look how tapered it is
And,
off the back.
When
That's
you
so
when
cool.
you get in, you'll see, like, it's really quite a wild experience to just be in a car with no steering wheel, no pedals, no controls,
Whoa.
and it feels great.
so trippy.
And we have enough vehicles here, so everyone should be able to try it out.
Interesting.
And
There's no glass
experience
roof.
the set that we've built here. It's a very big set, so it's like really, we've used several, I don't know, 20, 30 acres or something like that. It's really big. So it goes on, the ride's long. And we set it up to feel like a ride, like a park ride. So it'll be cool, and you'll get to experience it tonight.
You can tell everybody at Tesla. Oh, I saw a wireless charger on the screen. What?
Something we're also doing is, and it's really high
Cut
time
to
we
the
did this, is
screen.
Inductive charging.
Yeah, inductive.
So the Robotaxi
Whoa.
has no plug. It
Whoa.
just goes
There's
over
a robot
inductive
cleaning
charger
it.
and charges.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's kind of
Auto
how it should be.
clean. He's
Thanks, guys.
jumping
I
too
love you too.
fast through the slides. Go back to the inductive charging. We didn't see it.
So one of the things that is really interesting is how will this affect the cities that we live in? And when you drive around a city, or when the car drives you around a city, you'll see there's a lot of parking lots. There's parking lots everywhere. Parking garages.
Oh, that's the world we don't want.
and-
That's the world.
So
we
what would
want.
happen if you have an autonomous world is that you can now turn parking lots into parks. And so we're taking the ink
is
lot
vinyl.
out of parking lot. You're welcome.
Beautiful.
So there's a lot of opportunity to create.
Show the screen. We can hear everyone reacting to things, but we don't know what they're
space
reacting
in
to.
the cities that we live in.
What? What is that? Oh my God! There's a toaster. What the heck is that?
So that would be quite fantastic. Oh, and also, what happens if you need a vehicle that is bigger than a Model Y?
Oh my God, bruh, that's a train.
The Robovan. The
The
Robovan
Robovan?
is. This is we're going to make this, and it's going to look like that.
Robovan?
Now,
What?
can you imagine going down the streets and you see this coming towards you?
It's like a bus.
That'd be sick.
That'd be sick. Put it in the Boring Company. Wow, look how many people they can fit in there.
So
That's
this can carry up to 20 people, and it can also
20?
transport goods. So you can
Whoa.
configure it for goods transport within a city, or
now that's
transport of up
cool.
to 20 people at a time.
That's
so this
amazing.
is gonna. The Robovan is what's gonna solve for high density. So if you want to take a sports team somewhere, or
You invented a
you're
bus.
looking to really get the cost of travel down to, I don't know, 5-10 cents a mile, then you
I
can
love the look.
use the Robovan. Some people call it the Robovan, but
Robovan is funny.
so yeah.
Put that in the
one of the
boring
things
tunnel.
We want to do, and we've seen this with the Cybertruck, is we want to change the look of the roads.
The music's
The
going a little
future
too hard.
Should look like the future.
That's so cool. Franz, hit it with a hammer. Let's see how durable it is. Wow. It's very low ground
Speaking of
clearance.
robots,
Oh my god.
so everything we've developed for our cars, the batteries, power electronics, the advanced motors,
That is pretty
gearboxes,
cool, though.
the software, the AI inference computer, it all actually applies to a humanoid robot. It's the same techniques.
You got a demo for
It's
that?
just a robot with arms
Whoa.
and legs instead of a robot with
Here they
with
come.
wheels.
They be walking.
And we've made a lot of progress.
Oh my god. Look
With
at those
Optimus.
hips. Them hips
And
don't
as
lie.
you can see, we started off with someone in a robot suit.
Wow, look how many they
And
got.
then we've progressed dramatically year after year.
They just start killing people.
So if you extrapolate this, you're really going to have something spectacular. Something
You can
that
see the
anyone
engineers
could
walking
own.
next to him like, please don't fall,
So
please
you
don't
can
fall.
have your own personal R2-D2 C3PO.
There is so many of them, jeez.
And I think at scale, this would
They're
cost
walking.
something like, I don't know, $20,000-$30,000. Probably less than a car is my prediction long term.
You
Now,
keep saying
it'll take us a minute
30,000.
to get to the long term, but
Okay,
fundamentally
he can
at
walk in your
scale,
house.
The Optimus robot, you should
He
be able
picked up a
to
package.
buy an Optimus robot
He can water a
for
plant.
I think probably $20,000 to $30,000 long term. So and what can it do? It'll basically do anything you want. So it can be a
picked up
teacher,
an
babysit your
apple.
kids. It can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get the groceries, just be your friend, serve drinks, whatever you can think of, it will do.
Can it
And
charge
yeah, it's
my
going to be
car?
awesome. And I think this will be the biggest product ever of any kind.
Of course
Yeah.
it will. Let it watch your children every day.
Because I think everyone, of the 8 billion people of Earth, I think everyone's going to want their Optimus buddy. And there's going to be maybe two. And then they'll be producing products and services. I predict, actually, provided we address risks of digital superintelligence, 80% probability of a good outcome. Look on the bright side. The cup is 80% full.
The B-roll is amazing
the,
in this event. The B-roll was the
The
best part.
cost of products and services will decline dramatically, and basically anyone will be able to have any products and services they want. It will be an age of abundance, the likes of
Sure.
which people have almost no one has envisioned. It'll be something special. So,
Right.
now one
You
of the
never
things
have
we
to
wanted
raise your
to
kids
show
anymore.
tonight was that Optimus is not a canned video. It's not walled off. The Optimus robots will walk among you.
What? Someone's gonna push him over.
Please be nice to the Optimus robots.
They're gonna walk among you.
So you'll be able to walk right up to them, and they'll serve drinks at the bar,
What? I want to see that.
and you'll directly. I mean, that's just, it's a wild experience just to have humanoid robots, and they're there. You're just in front of you.
Do they ask for a tip?
So, yeah, with that,
I'm out if they want a tip.
Let's party.
Wow. That was a surprisingly put together Elon.
I love you guys too. If you look at that,
Yeah, someone's gonna
gazebo
kick it
over
over.
there, let's get the party started.
Oh no. They're gonna dance? The lights are in the way, ironically. They're all doing the robot, literally. Oh my god. What a world we're living in. They can't move their legs when they dance. Someone's gonna push over the robot for sure. Oh, I'm gonna get copyright claimed. Dang it! Sorry, I'm lowering the volume. They're not talking. I'm just lowering the playback. They're just playing What is Love for those curious. They're playing my song. Is that the whole event then? I want to see them serve drinks. Yeah, I want to see the DMCA open up. I know, I'm worried now. I'm going to lose monetization. Yep, they're just playing the song. No more. I'll sing it for you. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Will they copyright claim me for singing it? Oh, the cars look so good. Can they please sell those to customers with wheels? I mean, with steering wheels? Look at them go. Dude, I loved the cleaning robot video. I want to see more of that. Yeah, that's true. Daft Punk started playing. I'm going to have to edit the live stream now. Okay, is there any more to the... Oh, it's closing. The gazebo's closed. There's no sound right now. Dude, we got to talk about the Robo Van. If you sing it too good. Well, we don't need to worry about that, right? Dude, I love the design of the CyberCab is so good. Oh my god. I have so many questions though. Oh, I heard someone speaking. It sounded like Franz said okay. Oh, sound is back. Look at those cabs go. Oh, I'm in love with the design. Oh, is that it? Are we done? Event over? Okay. I think we're going back to visualization. I'm muting it for now. I will keep it in picture just in case. And we will start browsing Twitter for updates. So just a reminder, the live stream is still on. It's just in the corner. Wow. The wait for the event was longer than the event itself. That's true. The event started at 8 and it's 8:20. And it was supposed to start at 7. Oh, music is back. They're showing stuff. They're just playing music. Let's have a look at the CyberCab. I'm amazed how large the screen is in the cab. Yeah, I'll check out the website after this. Look, people are crawling in. Is it a bench seat? It's a fold down armrest? Wow. They're letting people in. So is there something? I can't believe how many there are. This has impressed me. 1 hour wait for 20-minute event. Look at all the doors open. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, they're numbered. You see the license plate? 17, 20, 10. I think they're powered doors too. The doors automatically open and close. That's amazing. I think some people in the chat were saying it's 4 seats, but I don't know where the 4th seat is. Is it in the back? People are saying it looks like a bench seat. And it's a hatchback design too. Why can't they just... Okay. I know Tesla will probably miss their timelines, and the real design will probably be different. But the event itself was great, in my opinion. I loved how many cybercabs they showcased, and the fact that they're doing rides. Hopefully none of them crash. Look how many there are. They got them lined up here. Dude, it looks so good. They're just playing epic music, by the way. They're not talking. It's such a good look. And the Robo Van, oh my god. Wow. They're beautiful. The sensor, they might stick with the shape, but yeah, the shapes are good. Is the Tesla bot serving drinks? What's he doing with his hands? What's he doing? Oh, he's grabbing a cup. Hey, you see his cowboy hat? The Robovin. Wow. It's not a split window design like it was in the book. But I guess the book was pretty accurate. Yeah, it does look like two seats actually from this angle. It's possible they're remote controlled. We don't know. It's a good point. Come on, Optimus, step on it. People want their drinks. You got to start filling up the cups, Optimus. Stop waving. Start pouring. Come on. Oh, look, there's a little tiny Tesla bot on top of the lever for the tap. Will those doors open parked close to another car? Good question. People are saying website is up. I'm sure there's good stuff on the website, but the B-roll is really good too. Okay. Let's take a look. Okay, the Tesla bot. Ooh, that's so good. I'm screenshotting everything. Screenshotting you. That one's kind of a gold color. And by the way, we're selling cars. Okay, this is all pretty much the same. No other changes. I guess we'll hit learn more. Ooh, that's a good angle. Why is that? Wow. The Robo Van. Oops, I screenshotted the wrong thing. I don't care about the Tesla bot. I want the Robo Van. Well, get used to this website, boys, because it's not going to change for the next 10 years. Stay up to date on FSD? What? I want that. I don't want that. I want the Robotaxi. So is it the CyberCab or is it the Robotaxi? The website is using the term Robotaxi, but Elon said CyberCab. I don't see a place to reserve anything. There's no like reserve Robotaxi button. Right click, save image. Where's the save image button? It's okay. I can screenshot. And meanwhile, this website hasn't changed in uh 7 years now. This was all on the website in 2017 and it's still here. So this one will probably be here a while too. Yeah, look at those vinyl seats though. I have so many questions. Yeah, the van doesn't have a windshield. I think it's designed exclusively for autonomous driving. So there's no real point to making a manual driven version, I guess. Yeah, the front does kind of look like the Model Y Juniper. That's true. It's got that light bar. Well, to be fair, we don't know what Juniper really looks like, but yeah, it's such a beautiful look. I don't think they're painted either. Okay, the live stream literally just keeps showing the Tesla bot moving his hands around. I want to see him serve drinks. Come on, son. Um, I want the camping version of the Robovan. It's like, can you make a van that we can actually drive? Big wheels must hurt efficiency. Eh, what is that? Oh my God. It's just a hand. There's like a cyber stand. Is it like tracking someone else's hand? So you have a robot moving around? That looks like it was human controlled. Is the CyberCab as long as a Model Y? I don't think so. It's a two-seater, so I think it's definitely shorter. How much shorter though? We don't know. So they also have Model Ys that are unsupervised, which is cool, but they still have steering wheels. Come on, Tesla. No one cares about these. We've seen these before. Yeah, that van is not going to be made like that. It's way too low to the ground. That's definitely a very prototypey design. But they said they could fit 20 people in it. I feel like that's what the Boring Company needs more than anything. Um, this is all vaporware. Well, Tesla has a tendency to turn vaporware into disappointing and late real products. So, what's the disappointing and late version of this? I don't know. But I love the size. I want to know more about its efficiency, its battery pack, its dimensions. Interesting that there's no glass roof, and I don't think it's paint. They all have a very matte finish. I'm just impressed how many of them there are. I love how tapered the design is off the back. Look how many there are. They're all driving around. All the engineers are like, please don't crash, please don't crash. Oh, I think they served him something. What are those? Chocolate rocks? Well, he picked one up and he handed it to him. Hey, that's cool. It did something. Is he pointing? Like, give me that one. I know he really breezed over inductive charging and they didn't show anything on screen. He he glossed over that real quick, even though I could see there were references to kilowatt hour counters. They're making some kind of announcement. They're clearly handing some kind of goodie bags to people. Wouldn't be surprised if a human is controlling that right now. It's the 30,000 price before the rebate. He didn't say. I'm guessing no. Mm. Was he doing Rochambeau? Rocks. He's like, oh no, I lost. Dang it. Fist bump? Does he understand that one? Nope. Left him hanging. Oh, they're just walking around the people. It's an interesting idea. He's like, what? I'm doing my job. Give me that one, Tesla bot. Yeah, that's not the one he pointed at, but there's probably instructions somewhere that say point at one and he'll give you that one. Or no, he's just grabbing random bags. Uh, they are moving around very naturally, though. That is nice. Is he dancing? Someone's gonna push one over, you know it. The music is cool. I wish I could play it. Wow. Well, there's a lot to look at. Definitely think the event is more fun in person. That's probably for sure. Let's see. Robovan seats 20 and can be adapted to commercial or personal use, school bus, RV, or cargo. Show us more pictures. Any other tweets? Yeah, it does look like a RoboCop. Ooh, brand new 4K images of the CyberCab. Wow. Thank you, Sawyer. Downloading that. That's not really a bench seat in that image, at least. There's people talking again. Definitely a very cool looking vehicle. Yeah, it was disappointing to hear him say it'll be under 30,000. We're like, you used to say it would be under 25,000. I guess inflation has hit everything, even the unreleased products. Oh, they're doing the drone show now. Oh yeah, Cyber Mike from Cyber Owners Club is saying these doors open really wide. Yeah, Robovan picks two. Yeah, I know where that is. Wow, so clean. It has a bumper camera. You see that? Those wheels are nuts. Bumper camera. They're not serving drinks. Oops. What's he handing out? He just keeps giving everyone the thumbs up. Wow. I would buy a car with steering wheel and pedals like that. That would be amazing. Hmm. So slick. Uh, I think the biggest short-term announcement was we do expect autonomous unsupervised FSD in Texas, California next year. It's hard to believe that though, because he said next year a million times. Wow. Beautiful. They made a van. Okay, I'll keep this in the corner. I haven't seen them shake hands with anybody now. Wow. Why are the back wheels bigger? I feel like that would make tire rotations much harder. But no, you can't reserve anything. There's. Oh, they're talking.
Prioritizing VIP rides. GA guests, please make your way to our other amazing zones to board your Robotaxi experience. Thank you.
Okay. That wasn't for me, but they said it on the live stream anyway. Can it be applied to a robot? Oh, here's the Robo Van pics. Ooh, that's clean. Wow. Gorgeous. So many good angles. I love the look. It's beautiful. I just wish it had steering wheel and pedal. Man. They do kind of have a gold aesthetic. At the event, it looked more like a silver one. Um, Model Y in Robotaxi mode. Oh, that's loud. I want to see what the screens look like when the people are inside them. No one's posting videos of the inside. Yeah, this is the little segment. He said they'll have inductive charging, but then showed the screen of them being clean. That's not really a bench seat, is it? Not really, no. Hmm. Should have been there. I wasn't invited. I would have gone if I was invited. Yeah, it's a very starlight color. There was a section of the event where you could see right off camera. It said energy added. You could see there's some kind of video they had about inductive charging, and Elon just jumped over it. Well, you should not go to an event you were not invited to, hoping they let you in. That's ended poorly for many people. And we wouldn't be talking right now. Model X 30. Gregor Trucks posting videos. That's cool that they had so many. Are they asking people to hit it? Wow. That's a pretty beautiful shot. The light bar. I don't think there's a frunk. Feels like it's all, yeah, one piece on the front. Maybe that's just a prototype thing. Huh. See in the For You section. Well, there's people experiencing the event right now. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Dominic said there's laser projection in the headlights for obstacle slash pothole detection. That would be cool. I don't know if he's right. The One Piece is real. Winston's like 25. Wow. Was it the actual presentation was about 20 minutes. Yeah, they kind of teased it, didn't they? The posters kind of revealed the design unintentionally, or maybe intentionally, but yeah, it'll probably be 29,000. But again, are they planning on selling one with a steering wheel or pedals? If not, then it's entirely going to be based on. Look at that. These look more silver than gold. So good looking though. Look, there's no one in it. That one, the prototypes do have a seam between the headlight on the front bumper and the hood. No, I'm pretty sure Elon just meant the current FSD vehicles will have it. I wouldn't overthink his wording. He says a lot of things he doesn't follow through on anyway. They keep asking him to make drinks. He just needs to pull the little bar. Oh, he was about to do it. Then they cut away. Wow. I would totally drive one. Oh, oh, he poured it. There you go. Good job, Tesla bot. You poured a drink. Amazing. Wow. Dang, it looks so slippery. Do the seats recline for sleep mode? I don't think so. I don't know. I haven't seen people. I'm surprised no one who's taken a ride in one has posted any pictures of the inside that I can find yet, at least. I guess everybody I follow is probably at the event, so they're not posting. Whoa. Yeah, I didn't expect the screen to be so big. That's a cool bus. Love that. Looks like an awesome interior. Man, they're really jamming these tombs. Okay, now Tesla's tweeting the same photo. It's another good angle. Robovan. The CyberCab rides on 21s. Good find, Gregor Truck. Red turn signals, not amber. Well, it's a prototype. I'm sure that. Remember, they can't deliver it in that form at all. You're not allowed to deliver a car to people without side view mirrors, let alone a steering wheel and pedals. These are all clearly prototypes. Well, they probably are pricing in the value because they're saying, oh, you're going to make a bunch of money with this thing. This thing will make you $30,000 a year. So just buy it for oh, there's people talking again, I think. The robots are dancing. Um, hopefully self-driving is easier than insurance. No. I assure you it's not easier. Imagine a car with no steering wheel is required to have mirrors. Yeah, I don't think so. Stock up or down tomorrow. Flip a coin. That's as much as I know. My guess is down because people will always find a way to be disappointed. And the long-term investors were already invested. They weren't waiting on this event. Yeah, the doors do open pretty wide, but again, we don't have any of the dimensions. The website does not give us that much info. Usually it's Twitter that helps highlight. Yeah, thank you, Shane, by the way, for tagging me. The Robovan. Ooh, yeah, there are a lot of good ones. I'll take all of them. I'll take all the Robotaxi pictures. Most, I think, are already online. Oh, wait, that's a good one. That's a huge storage space. Oh my God, did you see that? Let me put these in here. Oh, they're downloading. Jeez. Look at the storage capacity on the back. Why isn't it a pass-through? I hope there's a way to fold down that. Well, I guess that's where you sit, so maybe they don't need it. Can they please just sell this as a car with pedals? That's a massive storage in the back. Okay, we got one. Can look through the slideshow. I don't know if the seats fold. It's kind of hard to tell. Maybe they don't. Okay, now we can look on the big screen. Yeah, very high resolution. Those wheels are sick. Very aerodynamic wheels. I want one. But I want to drive it too, though. Oh, do you see the like font on the back? What does that say? What is that? Oh, see, the font is Cybertruck font, but it says Robotaxi on the back. Yeah, that looks very cyber-esque. Wow. Yeah, they got a camera built in there. Obviously, there's no rear view mirror. No rear view for human driver. You could always do it on the display like the Cybertruck for the. Hopefully, they sell this to people someday with the steering wheel and pedals. Wow. Screen is massive. Oh, look, they're looking inside it right now. Continental wheels. Okay, so people are inside it with their phones. The UI looks very similar to a Model Y user interface. Just connect your phone via Bluetooth to use as a steering wheel. Technically, sounds great. Legally, doesn't sound great. I don't think there's a frunk. I don't see any proof of a frunk. Maybe it's so small. Like, I'm really not getting a feel for the size from these pictures. I feel like in person I would understand. Oh, no, look, there's a seam here. There's a seam at the bottom bumper and the hood. So there could be a frunk. We just, maybe they're not ready to show it. Make a drink, bot. He should just, they should have trained him to just be filling drinks and hold them out and people will take them. And if no one takes them, just put them down. Oh, there he goes. Here he goes. Come on. Oh, almost there. Almost there. No, you got it. Okay. Pull down on the tap. There you go. Yeah. He did it. That's awesome. And he didn't overfill it. Don't spill. Don't spill. Wow. Oh, so clean. I love the little angular cutouts for the cameras. That's awesome. Oh, these seats look different. Wow. They are beautiful. Franz did an incredible job. Oh, the window buttons are in the center instead of on the doors. That's interesting. 2 cup holders. Still sun visors, I guess. You want to block the sun. But why not just block the whole windshield? I was expecting a sub $25,000 car I can drive. Why would you expect that at a event called We Robot? that was said to be the future of autonomy. I mean, that's what we both want, but I don't know why you'd expect it. I think they could turn this vehicle platform into a cheap car, but who knows if they could hit 25K. I just like the efficiency of it. Wow, that's awesome. That's a good angle. Okay. Those self-opening doors are amazing. I think it's important that they're powered because then people can just get out of the car, and even if they forget to close the door, the car can close it themselves. There you go. He's going to pour the drink. Pour the drink. Oh, they cut away again. Lower cost and shorter timeline would be better since 25K vehicle is effectively canceled. I mean, to be fair, Elon said on Twitter that it wasn't canceled. It's still up for consideration. They probably just don't want to Osborne themselves. I mean, think about it, guys. They're not going to say, we're going to release a $25,000 car next summer because then no one would buy a Model 3 or Y now. That would kill their present day sales. So, of course, they can't do that. Yeah, I don't see the door buttons either. Yeah, this car can have more traditional wipers. That's true. They mounted a camera in there. I don't know why some people were saying it's a four-seater. I don't know where the other seats would be. It actually doesn't look much smaller than a Model 3. Maybe it's a little smaller. Wow. It's basically a Model 3 coupe with a light bar and no mirrors, but big rear wheels. No, I don't see buttons on the outside or the inside. I think that's all done on a phone, I think is the idea. I'm just impressed they built so many of them, honestly. I'm sorry, I can't stop looking at it. I'm in complete awe of the design. I'm sure I'll get bored of looking at it someday, but it's not now. They're like, see, go camping. It's like, not with that design. The Tesla diner. Oh, that's cool. It's taking kids trick-or-treating. Wow. I mean, whether or not they deliver is a different discussion, but you got to hand it to Tesla. They've got quite an amazing vision for the future. The ambient lighting, it has the time on the screen there. Wow. Oh, they're school buses. Oh, yeah, wheelchair accessible and everything. Oh, that's cool. Service van. Robot comes out to fix your tire. Neat idea. There's a bunch of them on a bridge. Wow. What a unique take on a van. Dang. Store everybody's luggage in the back. Wow. What if they make it cargo only so you use it instead of moving truck to move your luggage? I'm sure they want to do that. All your kids will ride in this bus. That looks like recycled plastic material, doesn't it? I like the way they design the seats too. They're kind of arched, but they're centered, so that gives you more leg room around that centular, uh, centered point in the middle. Beautiful. I think the black skirt along the bottom of the Robovan is a flexible, compressible membrane. It likely has more clearance than it looks like. You're probably right, but still, it's a very low ground clearance. It's probably more optimized for lower speed transport. Wow. Pretty cool. So you can barely see the seam here. I don't know. Is this the kind of vehicle that should have a frunk? It'd have to be powered because it seems like they're designing it so that you could just get out and then the car takes care of itself. That's the vibe I'm getting. Stark Records. The bus that takes all humans to the factories to build more robots. No seatbelts? Well, I hate to break it to you, but there's a lot of buses that don't have seatbelts already. The Robotaxi had seatbelts. Where's the interior shot? The music they're playing is awesome, by the way. Show the inside, whatever. There you go. You got the little clickers down there. Maybe that's the door button. I don't know. Huh. Thanks, Drew from Tampa, Florida. You made me forget I don't have power due to Hurricane Milton. Oh, geez. Special shout out. Hope everybody's okay out there. Stay safe. I know, it's totally stole the Aptterra UAE gold look. But I can tell you this much. I don't think it's going to be 25 grand. He said under 30, but we don't know the range. We don't know the powertrain specs. We don't know the battery. We don't even know the dimensions. I don't think anywhere on the website it said how long it is or anything. And then Kevin goes, "That was the worst event in history." I disagree. I remember the Cybertruck delivery event. Looks like the overnight sales aren't looking good. Not surprised. Elon Musk says the CyberCab will only charge wirelessly. It has no charge plug. What? When did he say that? There's no knacks? What? You gotta buy a whole new connector. Oh, there goes the Robovon. How did he say it? Did you talk about induction charging? No, because he barely talked about it. He glossed over it in the presentation. Stealth titanium color wraps on them. Interesting. We don't know what the exterior is made of, but paint is expensive. People are trying to speculate what the exteriors are made of, but they look cool. Sturm says he did say that. When I didn't hear him say that, but it does make sense that in an autonomous future, inductive charging would be pretty practical. Headlight camera. Ooh, maybe. I don't know. Not enough resolution. Art Deco train. Wow, so much to look at. That is a massive trunk. My goodness. I know people all think inductive charging is inefficient, but if you look up some of the Bjorn Nyland videos, the inductive charging you use for your phone is not the same type of charging that EVs use for inductive. In fact, there's a lot of side-by-side tests. I used to believe that, to be fair, and people kept correcting me in the comments saying, "Drew, you got to look more into this." The DC inductive charging, it's a different kind of current that vehicles use compared to our phones. So it's not as inefficient as it sounds. Um, but still, Tesla probably thinks like we'll just have tons of energy thanks to solar in the future. Who cares if we lose some of it to inductive? That'll be less energy than trying to build snake chargers everywhere, or Tesla bots that have to grab cables and plug them in everywhere we go. Um, I wish robot could come fix my car. Yeah, wireless charging from sunlight. Hey, David's in the chat. Good to see you, David. Good to hear from you. If we get rid of parking lots, where will these charge? Yeah, good question. I guess you'll need the occasional. Oh, my neighbor Optimus. This was a reveal, and we didn't even notice. Silver painted sidewalls. Wow, that is a massive frunk. Yeah, the kilowatt says Optimus appears to be remotely controlled for now. Ooh, that's loud. They're like, no high-fiving. Interesting. So Kilowatt says the robots are. What's going on here? They got some Total Recall cars everywhere. Laser lights. Saying this make me want Aptterra. Well, the good news is Aptterra wants to sell cars to people that you can drive. I don't think Tesla's interested in that. I don't think they're even close to being able to sell a vehicle without a steering wheel or pedals. They can't even legally get those on city streets yet. What did Elon mean about making use of unused compute in the CyberCab? He's mentioned in the past it's like AI training data. He wants to fill all these vehicles because they've got power and they've got not GPUs really, it's more NPUs, but chip, powerful computer chips that can be used to train AI to make it better, and they could rent that out as a service. They're basically just trying to make it sound like Tesla should be valued at the same rate as Nvidia. Why 21-inch rear wheels? No control from the occupants. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Oh, we're getting weird ads. Ron Barron is there. That's funny. Cool. Don't talk about wireless charging by Elon, as he properly has no real plan or timelines for deployment. They probably have something. That's a really old Model X over there. That's a Model X with the no side view mirrors. That's the original prototype from like 2011. This cab looks nothing like Aptera. No, but I think that's good. I like that they're separate. Aptera will charge itself. This thing you will have to buy a new cable because it doesn't have a charge port. I can't take a Robotaxi from Houston to Austin because it can't use superchargers. That's a good point. I bet most rides aren't that far for long distance travel, but yeah, that would probably be a problem. The future best-selling car in the world. I don't know. Maybe. Glad all these other guys got to go. I wouldn't have been able to go even if I was invited because of work stuff going on, but man, okay. It's 9 o'clock already. There's so much to look at. Ooh, that's a cool picture from Steve. One giant floor mat and you're good. That's the whole vehicle. So seats look very comfortable. Yeah, not a lot of bolstering, but that's okay. It's good for people getting in and out. What's the range? No idea. Very light on details. Very, very light. You can go on the website yourself and you will find not much. You go to learn more, and it's like, we must have an autonomous future that's more efficient. Autonomy makes it possible. Hail your car and use it as long as you need for errands, commuting, and more. What if I need to go cross country? Discover autonomy. And then down here, they're like, buy a Model 3, by the way. CyberCab doesn't look like Aptterra. It reminds me a bit of the Honda Z hybrid. It's just a Tesla version of a super efficient vehicle, which I love. I love the look. Franz did a fantastic job. You can lean back more or even sleep, so the design should be different more than airplane seats. Can you recline? Look at these pictures. That one with the storage. These are very high resolution. Wow. Every single one of these pictures, never mind. Some of these pictures are like 30 megabytes. That's, look at this. At least in the prototype, that does not look like a seat that folds down. But it does look like a very large trunk. I love how much storage there is. I like that it's a hatchback. Tesla, just do this on the 3. What battery chemistry do you think it'll use? If it's a structural pack, it would be NMC, but this is what they might be spinning up domestic LFP. Yeah, I guess it's hard to say because they didn't say what the range is. So if it's really just meant for city driving, that maybe they could get away with like 10 kilowatt hours. And if it gets 7 miles per kilowatt hour, that'd be 70 miles of range. And that would cover a lot of driving. Imagine kids going to prom in that bus. Yeah. The bus I have a harder time believing in. Because it's kind of the one more thing. The bus was the one more thing. And the last one more thing was the the ATV. And we never got the ATV. Oh my God, but look at those doors. That's so cool. Aptterra's gold-proof gold cars need to come back. Just considering the fact this will not have much range and needs an entire non-existent induction charging network, this might be 5 years away. I'm just trying to remind you all, this car is, I know Elon said they'll let people buy it, but I doubt that that's going to be the first priority. I highly, highly doubt they're going to be selling these to individuals because that's a whole nother regulatory thing. It's one thing to get them approved to be able to drive a vehicle on public roads that doesn't, hey, bearded Tesla guys there. That's cool. It's one thing to get them approved regulatory wise to have no mirrors, no steering wheel, no pedals. No one's done that yet, by the way. Waymo has a way to be manually overridden. It's a whole nother thing to say like, I'm going to sell robotaxis to individual consumers. So I think these are ways out. But my best case scenario would be Tesla takes that design, they take that form factor, and just add steering wheel and pedals, and just sell a coupe for, I don't know. It feels wrong to say 25,000 now because he said it'll be under 30. But maybe I shouldn't look too much into the verbiage. I'm guessing the first model will not be the cheapest. Like all Teslas, they will probably start with a very expensive one and then have to work their way down. Yep, see, they auto closed. Automatically close the doors. I think you'll be able to buy one with a steering wheel. I hope so, but they probably don't want to talk about that because that would definitely Osborne their current vehicle sales. Yes, Waymo has remote drivers available. That's true. I don't think it looks like an Aptterra, but I'm not saying that's bad. It still looks really good. I wish they'd cover it in Aptterra Solar. They could probably get a lot of energy. That's even better wireless charging. Just charge from sunlight. Depending on how efficient it is, it's a pretty big design. Look how much surface area there is on the top. Let me find a good picture. They take a while to load for whatever reason. Okay, this is close enough. That's not any better. Okay. You've got no glass roof. You've got this whole hatch. You've got a big old hood. You could cover this with solar. You could cover this with solar. Even if it's not a lot, even if it's 20 miles a day, that's still like 6,000, 7,000 miles a year for free. Look at the taper off the tail from Bird's Eye. No, it is aerodynamic. I get it. It's sloped back, but it's inward mounted wheels. It's 4 wheels instead of 3. No, it's very cool. It here's a teardrop shape. But yeah, I mean, Aptterra didn't patent the aerodynamic shape. Like people are reaching around touching it. Are they trying to open the hatch? Oh, there's like a secret button there, maybe. He pushed a button and the door closed. You don't think it's gold? How about now? In all the rendered pictures, it looks pretty gold to me. Wow. Um, Elon also said Teslas will appreciate in value. That's true. Like, that's gonna happen. Oh, Zach did a live CyberCab ride. Let's watch that. That sounds fun. Okay, we get it. This is just kind of endless B-roll. Oh, did I miss it? It's already over? Oh, he's already out. So this is a live stream from Zach over on Twitter. Zach from Black Model 3. Wow. Yeah, it's a little concerning that they said there's no charge port and there's only induction. Um, that very much limits the usability, in my opinion, because it means no DC fast charging. But that probably saves money. My favorite part about this design is that the tire and wheel design make the wheels look huge. It makes it look a bit playful like a toy, but they managed to keep it looking elegant. Yeah, Franz knocked it out of the park. He did a great job. See, this makes it look like he's in the cab, but I scroll around and I guess I missed it. Oh, someone else did a ride along. Thank you, Shane. Okay, they posted it from Michael Sarunian. Thank you, Michael, for tweeting this out so that we could watch it. Wow. She said that door is a manual. The left door you close manually. You get in and you put on your seatbelt first, and then you you click a destination, and then the doors will automatically close. Oh, I see. It gives you options on the screen. Wow. That's really cool that they built that into the UI. Wow, he got to go all by himself? Where does he get all the pictures from? It's the Tesla Gallery website. I'll drop it in the chat real quick. It's giving sleek Prius. Yeah. He got to ride in it all by himself. Whoa. The light up bracelets is cool. I know it's muted. There's music playing. He's not saying anything. He's just saying it's really cool. Oh, the windows are down. Okay. I'm surprised how massive that screen is. Point depends on slow charge. They need many locations, but the wireless could be fairly fast and just accept the downtime. No, but I'm saying not the downtime is a problem. It's more if I want to go cross country. I guess they would just pick you. You'd have to get into another vehicle. Like, we don't know the range of this vehicle. It's not a very big vehicle, so I'm guessing the range isn't massive. So if the range is, 200 miles and I need to go 300 miles, what do I do if it can't fast charge? We don't even know if there will still be a tax rebate by then. They can't legally sell it like this. There's going to be some law changes. I'll retweet you, Michael Sarunian. Thank you for taking a video. Yeah, the door automatically opened. Wow. I think so. We'll concede to LiDAR. I don't think LiDAR is the problem. The LiDAR falls apart anytime it rains, so that doesn't really solve anything. LiDAR is expensive and consumes a bunch of energy. Um, I think the problem is, you'll notice with any FSD video, the problem is most of the time that not that it can't see, it's more that it's not doing the right thing. If I was there, I'd be measuring stuff. I know, I agree. I wish more people would figure out the length of the vehicle, but I'm sure it's all subject to change anyway. Like you could have measured the Cybertruck prototype and you would have been wrong. They're letting everybody hit the Cybertruck. It's a carnival game. Uh, yeah, I was light on details. I can't believe there are people that are like, why didn't they announce a $25,000 car? It's like, because that would kill sales. It is absent wipes or wiper blades. Yeah, but so was the original Cyber. Guys, it's a prototype. Come on. Maybe because it's driven by itself, you don't need an entire windshield wiper. You just need a wiper for the cameras. You just need a way to keep the cameras clean. You don't need to keep the whole windshield clean. Yeah, I know what the VW XL1 is. It's very similar. Yeah. It's just what happens when you make a design very aerodynamic. Yes, it looks like that. Yeah, Waymo is in San Francisco, LA, and Phoenix, and they're expanding to Texas. Right. They're kind of ahead at this point. Tesla is banking on leapfrogging them. I know. I want to hear more about inductive charging. I'm surprised Sawyer mentioned that CyberCab will only charge wirelessly. What about the gigantic charging infrastructure they already have? Just swap out the charge plug for a mat in the future. No, then other EVs can't charge there. Won't the rain get inside, like when it stops to let you out? Yeah. But that's how cars work now, right? You open the door, you get wet. That's why we have umbrellas. He didn't say hardware 3 is obsolete. I mean, whether or not it is bizarre. Who knows? But he didn't say that at the event. I don't get why it can't be NACS and induction. I don't know. But Tesla likes removing things. They like to see how much they can get rid of. So maybe it's just another challenge. Also, if it doesn't do oh nice. I'm friends with both of these people. I was wearing Marquez's shoes all day today. He's been on our podcast a few times. We've communicated. But Gregor Truck I've met as well. Thanks for the vids. Wow, huge Tesla army. No one in the car. No seating. Wow. Okay. I don't really buy Waymo leading. FSD does a lot more than Waymo. There are public robotaxis that Waymo owns and operates where you can hail a vehicle, get inside, no one's driving, and it takes you to your destination. Tesla does not offer that. That's why I'd say they're ahead. Tesla has 0 robotaxis available. These are all prototypes. They're on a closed course. For all we know, they could be remote controlled because we found out from the kilowatts that the humanoid robots are remote controlled for now. So that's why I say Waymo is ahead because they have robotaxis and they've done millions of miles without a person in the driver's seat. It is impossible to scale that nationally, let alone internationally. Well, you could say the same thing about Tesla. They haven't done it. So as far as we know, it might be impossible because Waymo has to get approved on a city by city basis. And Tesla has not even started applying for regulatory approval. He said Model Y and 3 sold today will do unsupervised, but he didn't say. Why would he say the Model 3 and Y that we sold 5 years ago is still capable? No, he's just saying the ones that are available today will still do it. He's not. He was simply stating that the CyberCab is not the only vehicle that can do FSD. Is it confirmed? Well, I don't know. Do you trust the kilowatts? I do. I've met him. He's a nice guy. He says it appears to be remotely controlled because he's talking to a person controlling the humanoid. He said you can't do a real high five, but you can do an air high five. Of course, the employees stay. Let's see. He ignored mentioning Hardware 3. This was not a Hardware 3 event. So it's like he said in the past. Again, who knows what the limits of Hardware 3 are? I'm just saying this event was not about Hardware 3. This event was mostly about the future. He's just saying today's cars that we're currently selling will do this. That doesn't mean we forgot about Hardware 3. We're never going to update Hardware 3. You were a little off mic, but not that bad. Even if cars aren't remote controlled, the whole lot was fully mapped. Yeah, exactly. It's nowhere anywhere close to what Waymo is doing because it's on city streets. Unsupervised also requires regulatory approval, which may be years away. True. And it's on a city by city basis. You can get approved for it in one city. You could get approved for it in San Francisco, but not LA. That's possible. So that's a long, very tedious process that Waymo is showing. Like it's not something you can just flip a switch and now every vehicle can do it across the whole country. You have to get approved on a city by city basis. Uh, yeah, I know they put a big "Don't sue us" disclaimer. I think that's a good idea. They're making a lot of claims. Um, but that'd be a good reminder for everybody. Don't forget. Um, oh, geez, now you're gonna see all my watch history. Uh, pull up the. Hey, it's me. We can watch our stream. Future Oz is live too. Do they show this at the beginning? They gotta trim this thing down. For that. No, they said hardware 4 is not upgradable. It's not the same design as hardware 3 at one. Statements regarding development strategy, ramp capacity, demand, and market growth, cost, pricing, profitability. Oh my God, all the statements regarding operating margin. See, talk about that. Yeah, this is basically just a big form saying the stuff we say today might not happen. What's AI or Tello operated? I believe they're Tello operated. At least that's what the kilowatts is saying, and he's there. That's a self-driving. Yeah, they dropped the full. That's interesting. Huh. Really love the design of the vehicle. That's probably my favorite part. Yep, I would buy one if it had a steering wheel and pedals, even if it's just two seats. I love the amount of storage space it has. Would I buy it over an Aptterra though? That'd be a close call. I think the Aptera would have more range and a charge port. I like having a charge port. Um, how will they do unsupervised next year? Oh, they'll just delay it. They've done that before. It's no big deal. Just say, oh, it'll take a little longer. We'll do it next year. When? Voucher requirements. No pre-order. Why would they pre-order it? You can't sell it. It's not legally able to sell. Even if it was in production today, they couldn't sell it. Hello, no. Good job, David, bringing Tello into the conversation. And you can fix your own Aptterra. That's true. I loved the laser lights. That was amazing. Looked kind of like it was scanning for potholes or something. That's a pretty great car too. Luna Silver. Anything involving FSD. Tesla. I'm about to drop the sickest rap about legal jargon. Right. Wow. What an event. Man, I can't believe the event ended over an hour ago and I'm still just reading tweets. Has a new deal, 0% financing when you buy a car with a FSD. So basically 5,000 FSD new price. Yeah, it's 8,000. And I would not take out loans on depreciating assets. It's not a good idea. Would not recommend. No one's going to buy FSD outright. That's why they're trying to convince you to do it, because most people would just subscribe. It's cheaper to just pay $100 a month. Also, it's not unsupervised yet, but it was a fun event. I agree. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Mike. Yeah, the ground clearance is so low. Anyway, it's probably about time we start wrapping up, guys. We've got probably a recap video to work on. So I think switch over here. I think I'll get started on that. But thank you all for tuning in. There was wow, let me look at the chart here. There's a lot of people watching our stream. At one point we had 1,300 viewers watching. Thank you all. Appreciate your support, all the new channel members, all the new super chats and all that. Thanks for hosting this chat, Drew. This was fun. Yeah, it's fun to have a live chat to go along with it. I'm glad I live streamed. I had a good time. I'm glad we got to catch my reaction in real time. It's beautiful, and there's definitely a lot to talk about. That's for sure. So I got some work to do. It's been a very long day. I started work at 4 a.m. It's now 9:30 p.m. But the day's not over, I guess. So sorry, it's just so many tweets. Okay. Appreciate you all. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Hope you all have an excellent rest of your night. Take care. Sleep well, travel safe. Stay safe out there, everybody out in Florida. We're rooting for you guys. Hope everybody's okay. Bye-bye.